rock and roll. We're really excited.
I hate you all some nights. You know, I just do. Especially you two.
Whatever.
You two
when we leave,
especially.
and he walks into the back room of the studio and goes to flip off the light to go to sleep, he like stops for one moment and just like remembers the game fondly.
No, it's a freeze frame, right? He puts his fist in the air and then
Yeah.
he freezes. And he
Yeah, and then he flips off the light and goes to bed and has sweet dreams.
You guys are so wrong. It's not even funny.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do this.
Let's see.
I don't know either.
So, after defeating the groundskeeper, you took that short rest and kind of regained your composure, relaxed for a minute. Wasn't much time, and you still have a whole tower and a series of machinations, traps, and puzzles and stuff to probably go through in order to get to the top of the tower. Which, if you remember, the reason you didn't land up there or go there immediately the first time is because there is some sort of magical discharge of lightning or something that emanates from the top of the tower and strikes flying targets like the griffins that you flew over here in. Pretty difficult to assail the tower or get to the top if it's just going to hit you with lightning and magic when you're trying to go up there. So you decided to go in from the bottom, and you started all the way at the bottom.
Subterranean assault.
Subterranean, in the catacombs below. Nobody expects a subterranean assault.
No, and it was killer.
Yeah, it was too.
Yeah,
Literally killed you all.
Punching a Tesla coil. All goes subterranean all day.
I've done a bunch of Tesla coils.
But all lined up on the staircase, ready to enter the next room, which you identified as some sort of long abandoned, just cobwebbed kitchen. The barbarian slams his foot into the door and just basically shatters the hinges, and the lock on the other side snaps and sent flying, and hear a metallic clang in there, and some pots and pans fall, and you know the door just basically falls over inwards into the room. And Godric kind of just enters and slowly makes his way into the room, trying to find the space to move around everything that's in there. So, what are you guys doing?
So I suppose we just keep going then.
Generally, that's what you do, is if you're going to kick a door open, you enter after doing so.
Stairs up. Sweat.
I just like kicking doors. And I'm gonna walk up the stairs.
Well, if they didn't know we were here, they know now.
Anybody home?
No.
So Godric yells out, and you guys do hear some things moving. It's an especially dilapidated tower, at least at this level. It seems like it's just completely falling apart. The stairs seem like they're seconds from completely collapsing inwards. With every creak, with every crack, you're worried that the floor will just give way beneath you and send you tumbling down to whatever's below. But there's the sounds of beating wings and stuff on the outside of the tower. There is a window that seems to have been completely boarded over, facing the outside. As you know, there's the Tower of Fel Bats is named after the mutated bat creatures that basically kind of haunt this section of the forest and roost here in these abandoned ruins. So he kind of calls out. You don't hear anything in return, just his echoing voice just kind of going upwards through the tower. As you hit the top of the stairs, there's another door leading into another room. Looks like it's some sort of, maybe was a guard room at one point. You're not really sure. This seems like there's a lot of just junk when you're looking through the kind of the barred window. Again, just completely covered every section in cobwebs and spider webs, just making it probably nearly impossible to traverse through there without cutting through them.
I'm gonna grab the door and attempt to open it.
Okay. It's definitely locked. You hear the distinct clink clink on the other side of a solid lock.
I'm gonna look at the hinges and see if the door opens inward or if it's pulled open.
While he's doing that, I'm going to start pulling cobwebs off of him.
Okay, sounds good. Based on where the hinges are, opens your direction into your room.
Oh, well, then I'm just gonna grab the hammer, and then just smack the hinge on the side, on the top, and bottom.
It is, by the way, the design and build of the tower. It is a square tower.
Oh.
So it's not a round tower, and it's pretty big. I mean, the kitchen itself was pretty decent. Had a massive stove, and space for cooking. There was like 5 or 6 servants or prep tables in the room, stacks and stacks of dishes, because this is like the last remaining tower of a full castle that used to be here. The room itself, the first one you went into, this one that you're looking into, the guard room, whatever, it seems like it's about 50 feet-ish, probably 50 to 60-ish feet wide, somewhere in that general space. But you just gonna break the door open again?
Unless someone can open the door, I'm gonna break it again.
Is there any quieter way we could be doing this?
I just walk over to the door and try and open it.
Alright, Gabe.
Yeah, it's reading, sorry.
It's locked. Lock.
Yeah.
Alright.
The staircase is about wide enough for maybe medium-sized characters to be side-by-side-ish, but with Godric out front, there is no way any of you are getting by him unless he moves.
Yes, anyone have a way to open this, or am I breaking it down? Alright, sounds good. Now I'm gonna go for the hinges.
You just gonna chop at the hinges? Or you just okay, and like break them off with your hammer?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit if they're the type of hinge I'm thinking are, where they're like rounded and like sticking out.
Sure.
I'm just crack them both pretty hard.
Yeah. So your first one's a solid strike. Bam! I mean, it's loud. You see it shake the door frame. It's just like shutters and a whole bunch of like dust and just crap, just kind of filth, just falls from above you and comes into your face. But yeah, it comes right off.
Oh, this old door. And I'm gonna attempt to just pull the door open now at this point.
Okay, yeah, sure. Give me an athletics check with advantage.
That's cocked. For sure.
Yeah, don't cheat.
20.
No cheating. 20?
22. Sorry. Proficiency.
It should be higher than that. Right?
24. I count wrong. It's 24.
All right.
That was 6.
Yeah. So you just basically rip it out of the wall and just kind of pull it backwards, and you swing it pretty hard. You remember there's people behind you, and you start to like lose control of it for a moment, but quickly regain your composure and just kind of look for a spot to put it down.
I'm gonna actually keep the door, and I'm gonna turn it, kind of tuck it underneath my arm, and walk through the hallway with the door underneath my shoulder, underneath my arm.
So, clarifying question: we're in a tower, and we're thinking like traditional round tower where the
Square.
Square tower. Okay,
Yeah.
but the stairs are going around the outside border of these rooms, right?
From room to room, it seems to be the case.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's open on the side towards the room. So if somebody was like up at the top of the stairs, they could jump down. Probably what, like 15 feet or so.
Well, no, you can't see the stairs.
So, it's a square tower,
Mhm.
closed off stairs on the
Mhm.
outside,
Yeah.
square rooms in the center.
On the inside, yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. So
And
the wall-
every room is
Yeah.
a landing, and then you walk across
Yes.
to
Okay.
the other.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Stair by stair. And based on what you guys were looking at in the size of the tower, it's probably about 10 and a half, 12 stories if you count like the very top floor where the magic was emanating from. But you weren't 100% sure whether or not that was like an attic or a lookout space because it was closed off and boarded up. But either way.
I would like to take a quick scan of the guard room for any kind of like papers or anything written down or anything that's like informational.
Okay.
Like maybe.
Give me an investigation check then.
Ooh! 10.
Information regarding like the layout of the tower or just anything interesting?
Just anything interesting. Old letters, layout of the tower, notes, documents, a journal, anything like that. Just anything that's going to give me any kind of information on the tower, or
Alright.
what was here before, or what's been going on, anything like that.
All right. And would you get a
10.
A 10? There's not much left of anything that qualifies as documents. I mean, you can see that there's leftover papers and books and stuff, but every single one that you pull out, open, or attempt to read is just completely faded, washed out, or it just comes apart at the seams when you try to move the book. It's just been here a while. One of the things you do notice, though, is that it seems as though, unlike the doors that you came through, the one on the other side of the room that leads to the next set of stairs seems to have either recently or at some point probably been opened on a more regular basis. It seems cleaner than everything else.
Nothing of use here. But if you look over there, maybe they use this room for something? It looks like it's been accessed, at least on a regular basis.
Are there any windows facing outward?
In this room, no.
And we've got like a bit of room to like move around and stuff, right?
In this room, yeah.
Okay. Hey, look, can you pull out your chest real quick? I want to grab something from it.
Set the little miniature chest on the ground and then tap it with the end of the staff and it grows into the full size.
So before I go about this, I'm going to ask you a question. So what I'm thinking about doing is grabbing some leather strips that I have and some nails and putting leather loopholes on this door and making a makeshift shield with this door.
I mean, it would be absolutely impractical. There's no way you'd be getting it up the staircases. It's a door.
That's the thing. Okay.
Break it in half.
I was thinking, yeah, that's fine. I was liking the idea of concept of full door, so never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. It didn't. It won't work.
I mean, plus the way that you're going up, because of the hand that you wield your hammer on, it'd be on the wrong side to protect you properly. Anyways.
Properly? Okay.
We're in the guard room right now, right?
You think it is. I mean, it's hard to tell for sure. There's definitely like some really rusted old weaponry and stuff just kind of scattered about, but it's also mixed in with just like common furniture. You're not really sure what kind of room it is.
All right.
Is this architecture?
Never mind, Locke. You can.
Yes.
You can.
Yeah.
I had an idea. I thought I just chucked the door behind me in a random direction.
Yeah, the whole tower is made from some pretty accurate, solid stone blocks. It's very definitely reminiscent of the architecture and bravas that you've already witnessed.
It's all right, Godric. Now that you've started having ideas, they'll only get better. I believe we're close to the ground level. Anything closer?
That was an insult, right?
Yes.
Well, it was a joke.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Yeah, based on the platform, it's about probably 20-something feet between levels, probably, with the stairs.
Yeah.
So, not crazy.
We're probably close to the ground floor, if not on it. The way I see it, the resident of the tower probably either uses the top floor the most or comes in here. I could be wrong, though. I don't understand the intricacies of human tower making.
Well, I can tell you this is no wizard's workshop.
Certainly.
Is there anything even of interest in this room?
Yes, that door.
Okay.
It's just the two doors between the two halves of the staircase? Or is there another door on this level?
The door that you came out, and then there's the door on the other side of the room.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So while they were doing all this, I would have gone over and just tried the door and see if it was locked.
Okay.
I'll probably.
As he rolls on his random tables, what trap goes on? Murder's lock.
He's way too
Sophisticated?
intentful. Give me that word.
Intense?
Intense?
No. Full of intent. He's way too
Purposeful?
to be using random tables.
So as you approach the door and grab onto it, a trap does go off. But it doesn't. It actually isn't. It's not like a trap per se. You realize as you're reaching forward that instantaneously a set of like protective runes and barriers immediately kind of go off.
Mm.
Do I recognize?
And it shimmers, and you recognize it as it's a protective barrier to keep like ghosts, wraiths, and spectral, incorporeal beings from passing beyond this point.
Okay.
It seems like it's fairly powerful in its design, but it doesn't affect you in any way.
Well, that's good. Not dead.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
What
she
was
wanted.
that?
So Locke will kind of pluck at the weave to make it a little more visible, right?
Mhm.
And it shimmers. There's a barrier here to keep powerful undead away from the door.
Well, aren't they on the same team?
Perhaps they aren't.
I would say that regardless of how those undead were created, they probably harbor quite a bit of resentment for their master.
Either that, or maybe they were just undesirable. I know I wouldn't want to be bothered when I was in the library.
Also that, they can be disruptive.
Yeah, I imagine if you really wanted them gone, they wouldn't be here.
Well, it doesn't really matter whether we did her a favor or not. She's still not leaving alive.
Certainly not. Alright.
Or maybe it's a good sign that we're stronger than she is, and she couldn't have gotten rid of it even if she wanted to.
Possibly.
Well, we're certainly stronger than she is. We have the invincible Trin.
Make a No, you. Make me an Arcana check, please.
Yeah.
I'm not invincible. I still die. I just come back.
Well, I got the proficiency in Arcana, so that makes
Yeah.
sense. That'd be 23.
23.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Probably not, though.
Sasha's excited.
Based on what you're seeing here,
Work.
one of the things that you pick up on in kind of the subtleties of the writing and the intricacies of the magic that was being used and how it was put there, it's more than likely that, considering how powerful it needed to be, that probably the groundskeeper was an obstacle of convenience. That it more than likely predates this, because this is something newer, so this hasn't always been here, for sure.
Looks like, I'd say, this came long after the groundskeeper had established his territory, and that, you know, our wizard friend liked having an alligator in her moat, so to speak. Dangerous to her, but more dangerous to those who have to cross it.
Yes, I second this theory. Seems believable.
I third it, but I just want to be included.
The eyes have it. I'm correct.
Huh? Godric's kind of rummaging through armor, just kind of throwing stuff around. What?
Moved in with a security system already intact.
I just was listening.
Well, I just caught you up.
All right. Well, anyhow, the door was it locked or?
No, the door's not like locked per se. Once you kind of get through the let the barrier fade, you're able to kind of just open it and
So I
go
open
through.
it and then wave. I'll
I'm
take
gonna-
up the rear.
I'm gonna hang just back as far as Katarina does so I can walk with her.
All right.
Godric, take the lead.
Of course, big guy gets his first. I understand. I walk through the door.
You're so very good at it.
Mhm.
Katarina, you haven't said much since everything happened, and I don't expect you to, but I just want you to know if you'd like to speak to somebody, I'm here.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's we've been through a lot of things. I don't even know how to describe it, but it is reassuring to know that I have good friends around me.
The best of friends. Except Godric, of course.
Still
It's
good
loud
to
enough
have
for the whole
around.
party to hear. Anyways, if you need anything, let me know.
So
Burrup, also, when we get back to him, he is a fantastic listener. and full of wisdoms you wouldn't expect from a bugbear.
Interesting. I'll have to talk with him more. I haven't gotten as much of a chance as I would like to.
Careful, though. His sense of humor can be quite grating.
I should be able to handle it.
Probably.
Make me a religion check as well, real quick.
Oh, I will. I'm gonna pass.
Mm-hmm.
Ready? Ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Why you use
22. It
A
worked.
22?
Yeah.
There is something that's kind of been bothering you the whole time that you've been here, and the first time that you got to the groundskeeper in his lair, you assumed that was him. There was this evil, this malevolent force that was kind of just hanging over the air and causing this almost claustrophobia to kind of just build on your divine connection to Alatrari. But you realize it's something more than that. The statue of Taylor, the room, everything that's happened, the groundskeeper, there is aside from all of that, there is something, there's another sort of dark presence in the tower. It feels familiar. And whatever it might be, it's more than likely the Banshee that attacked the lady.
Right.
There is some you can feel and sense that there are undead. When he activated the arcane runes, or what you assumed was arcane magic, there was a touch of the divine on it. And it seemed like more than likely someone put it there for one reason or another, but nothing just seems to be really adding up. If someone is alive in this tower, and they wanted to keep the groundskeeper away, or they were afraid of it, then why wouldn't they just use Taylor's blessings to do so?
Curious. Lock. There's almost like a deep magical desecration in this tower.
I feel a lot of necromancy, and
I don't think it's
disturbing,
necromancy
but
as you know it, though. It feels more almost divine.
I don't have much of an eye for the divine magic.
I mean, my point is, I had hoped it would go away once we defeated the groundskeeper, but it's lingering. I fear this witch, this wizard, she may be far more than we originally thought. Just stay on your guard. The worst is not behind us.
Well, we know we did witness the Banshee. I assume it's back here, and we'll handle it.
Yes, the Banshee, Trin, Godric, you didn't encounter that. It would flip through the walls and, well, find the opportune time to release its cacophonous roar or scream.
I have been thinking about that. Banshees use their wail to incapacitate,
Yes.
and then kill if the whale doesn't kill it right out. If we deafen ourselves, we can still communicate. I can connect us all.
Well, we would just put like
Yes, I think it would help.
Being able to communicate is fine, but I'd still like to hear something sneaking up behind me. And again, I don't want Godric's mind anywhere near mine. No offense, Godric, but you are loud both internally and externally.
I'm sorry, I'm bigger than you.
I can
I'm
try.
just- it's
I can
nature.
try and suppress him if we have to. It's just merely a suggestion.
Yes, lions are nature too, but I tend to avoid them in the wild. Yes.
Think on it.
It's a possible idea, but there's something.
I wouldn't be
Consider
able to.
this, though. If the groundskeeper and the other undead couldn't get past that barrier, how can the Banshee?
I assume whoever made the barrier can let whatever they want through. I don't know.
Maybe the Banshee has an invite into the front door.
Or you said she goes through walls, so maybe she didn't have to use the door, but that would also apply to ghosts.
Or maybe our wizard is a priestess. And not a wizard at all.
It does make sense.
But on
And there's nothing stopping
If it is
a
the
priest
case,
from
we
learning
need to be
arcane magic.
swift and violent. You see the power I command through the gifts of Alatrari. It pales in comparison to what I can do when I am home on Alatrari's turf.
But if, like, I get the whole earplugs thing, but if it's so loud, I don't even think earplugs or something like that would help.
No, it would only offer minor protection. I assume.
I don't even think it would offer that much protection. It's just a
we'd
vessel to transport
the only way to.
negative energy.
I assume the only way to truly get away from it would be to deafen yourself.
I don't even know if that would work. Maybe, though.
If we had a way to silence an area, but I don't have that sort of spell prepared.
Keep in mind also, last time we encountered the Banshee, I was unable to turn the undead away. Maybe the same this time.
It's powerful. So, we're at the top of the next stair, I assume.
Another door?
Yeah, there's another door. This one actually seems like it's a side door. As you come through up to the door and you're kind of looking through the window, you can actually see, this is for sure just a ground floor at this point.
Okay.
It's like a grand hall. There's some old, rusted, worn over suits of armor, some archways, and you can actually see the kind of architecture up above, which would lead to a wood floor up there. So you can see a much larger, like, staircase. It's still designed to go up the same way on the outside of the room, but it's a much bigger staircase with this, like, sweeping banister. There's these torn tapestries and old, worn-out, faded paintings on the walls in the room.
And the door to outside.
And the door to the outside looks like it used to be there, but there's just stacks of just furniture and whatever else has been placed in front of it.
Like it was barricaded?
Mm-hmm.
She has no use of the ground floor entrance, at least.
I'm assuming I go up to the door and I attempt to open it.
Okay. Yeah, it's locked.
Does it push inward or outward?
It comes your direction.
My direction again?
We're becoming quite the architectural observant. Every door we stop at, you glance at the stop and the hinges.
I don't know, maybe because the last time I just tried to go through a door, it went the wrong direction. I have to just pull it open if I can, seeing how old it is. Seeing if I can just pull it from its...
I mean, it creaks and it cracks. It's pretty worn out.
Okay, then yeah, I'll grab it, kind of plant my foot on the side of the wall, and kind of just attempt to yank it, rip it open if I can.
Okay, yeah. This one requires far less effort than the other door. It just basically comes right out, opens, and tears open. It creates this screeching metallic sound that rings through the structure, of which in response you hear a bunch of screeching, kind of coming from outside of the tower, and then the fluttering of bats and stuff, kind of like a swarm of them up above in the rafters, kind of shifting or moving and fluttering about.
What's the lighting like? Is it even... We came in...
Oh, it's pitch black.
Oh. Well, some of you.
Mm-hmm.
Looking out the windows outside, it's night as well?
Yeah, it's definitely night now.
Okay. Katerina, your drift globe.
Right, I was going to ask, is it a good idea to use it in here? I don't know if it would anger the bats that are up there. Not that we couldn't deal with him, but...
just have a feeling that, one, they already know we're here. If the bats are inside and not attacking us, we're probably fine. It's probably just the ones large enough to fit through the windows. Or small enough.
Alright, I'll take the drift globe out and turn it on, not to daylight, but just a regular light so everyone can see.
Okay.
We'll look up, see if there are any bats on the ceiling that are looking at us now that there's light in here.
Are we absolutely sure there's no other way to be opening these doors? Godric, you're doing a fine job, but it would be nice if we had some element of surprise.
I may be able to use my mage hand to unlock it on the other side.
It's worth a try.
I can try and cut them. It takes time, but the electricity.
Trent?
It's not exactly quiet or makes quite a light as well.
You're a member of that secret order. Is there some tricks you have up your sleeve for opening locked doors?
Well, if you have access to the hinges, you can take them off the hinges.
Yes, that's what Godric's been doing.
Yeah, but I was meaning a more elegant way. Not ripping.
A quieter
ripping
way.
It. Yeah, but it's still, there's still some noise associated with it. But honestly, looking at these doors, they're pretty, let's just say they're pretty jacked up. It's not like they're, lubricated or in good condition. Some of them are obviously rusted and corroded. So, yeah, it doesn't really, a lot of the techniques I know don't really help with that kind of thing, because you're still going to get all the noise because it's all jacked up.
Katarina's hound.
Yeah, hound is becoming restless.
What? What, lady?
Bork works.
Yeah, other than that, looking around for locks or surveying the room, or, if someone had like a lock-picking kit or something.
Why are we worrying about being quiet?
It's an advantage we could use.
Jeez.
She already knows that we were coming, supposedly. And I imagine that all the ruckus we made downstairs, she probably maybe felt it or knows that we're coming.
But it may be helpful for her to not know exactly what room we're in at all times. I can try to unlock the next one, and if not, I think that your way may be the best one we have.
Alright, if you say so, I just don't think there's any point in hiding at this point.
Perhaps not hiding, but just, attacking when they're blinking.
Yeah, we don't have to.
You ever positioned yourself in a fight so the sun was over your shoulders as opposed to against your face?
No.
Well, that's
He's just lying to you now. He's not
incredibly
doing that.
idiotic.
He did that in the Colosseum a lot.
Not supposed to let him know that.
Just be honest with him. He's not trying to insult you. He's just
Fighting with
Trying
good
to make
tactics
fun.
just proves that you have more prowess.
I don't know. I'm just at this point, I say we just get to where we're going and we kill her.
And then just freight train through all of this,
Okay.
and we'll follow in your wake.
What do you think she's even using
You haven't
this
seen
space
those?
for?
The
Because
gnomes
obviously
make them.
she's been accessing these doors and stuff.
Has she though? How traveled is this area?
this place looks decrepit.
Mm-hmm. I would argue not at all, except maybe by her.
Did we ever get her name?
I don't.
I think we did.
I don't think it's a good idea to learn about the person you intend to murder.
I've been writing a song about her.
What?
Well, we're going to kill her.
What did you say?
Me?
Yes.
I've been writing a song about it.
You've been writing a song about her?
Well, more about the tower. She's in it, but I don't know her name, so I just call her the Witch in the song.
I like it.
Yeah, this is. I got the beginnings down. It's the they say don't go.
Trin,
What?
I'm trying to convince Godric not to break down doors for the sake of surprise and stealth.
Well, the song
Sing-
says don't go to the tower if you're looking to keep your life. They say don't go to the Tower of Fel Bats.
I'm just in front of you guys at this moment, just tossing a hammer up and back. And up.
Sometimes we can use songs
Yeah, yeah.
to teach.
You know what? I don't know why I still act like I have any semblance of control of this group.
I'm trying to help you, man.
I'd love to hear the song. Go ahead.
Well, you said this kind of feels like I'm wasting my time here. Because it doesn't feel authentic now.
Might not be the best time.
I would love to hear a song.
About the Tower of Fel Bats?
I'm being a little
Sing.
obnoxious, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you
You are?
kind of are.
All right. I think we need to rest a little.
We are be getting a little cranky with each other.
Think.
The groundskeeper
Godric,
was violent.
take out some energy. Start pulling down that barrier
To the front door.
to the front door. We need as many exits as we can. They're not using it. We might.
It's going to be very loud. I thought my whole point of me not opening doors is for us to be quiet.
You've already made as much noise.
I
as
believe you
could.
have enough muscle control to do this quietly.
Yeah, you don't have to tear it apart. We're trying to. You need to excise your demons, and we need to relax. So
Excising my demons usually means shit is broken, exploding, moving, or there's just blood over me, or I'm bleeding, or one or the other.
go lift some furniture.
It's not heavy enough.
Do it a lot. Repetition. I hear it.
I don't need more definition.
Godric, you're just being obstinate because you're.
Try using words he knows.
At this point,
Do you see the left eye? Do you see how it's lightly flickering? That means he's irritated.
Do as you're told.
what is going on? Everybody shut up. We're in a dark, dangerous place and we're bickering.
Yes.
Alright. I think we should pull down the barrier to the front door. It's one more place we know how to get.
I agree.
And we can take a moment to breathe.
It may be our only way out, right? With the tunnel collapse behind us.
That or we jump off the top when we reach it.
I was expecting the jump.
Yeah, and that would be
Pleasant
bad.
as that would be.
Well, yeah,
Don't
also.
they call it hero landing? Isn't it bad for your knees?
It's bad for your life.
Especially if you don't get to turn off the lightning.
Thought Hero's Landing was a place.
I forgot about the lightning.
Me?
Alright, well, here.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk over and begin slowly moving shit around and kind of clearing up the front if I can, depending on what shit's there.
Sure.
Oh, Leon, I think it's the energy of this place. I think it's getting to us.
You might be right.
Or it's the fact that, I don't know, we were dead there for a minute.
I don't think,
Yeah, that's a lot
I
to
don't think
unpack.
any of us have processed that properly.
I'm just...
So, should we talk about it?
I don't know where we would start. Godric, you mentioned you were angry at Crom.
Yeah. Now that I've kind of unpacked it. No, I don't think I'm angry at Crom, more so I'm angry at myself.
For what?
I think the reason Crom didn't come personally is because I called out to his son, who may have deposed, removed him from Valhalla. I don't even know where Crom is. I don't even know where I'd be taken.
Well,
I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is going on. All of that is different now that I've been out here and learned more.
as you're saying this, I'm removing parts of the barricade from that front door.
Do you think Crom has given up on taking heroes now that he's not in Valhalla?
Oh, all I'm going to do now is I'm going to prove my worth to him, whether he wants it or not.
Well, at least that's constructive. I'll throw a chair.
So just continue clearing out the front door, trying to clear up the barricade and all like the shit that's in the way.
Godric, I don't think I've ever met a troll or ogre stronger than you. If you're trying to impress Crom and he's not impressed, then that's on him, not you.
Or I'm just not trying hard enough. He's not very outspoken.
Well, Far be it from me to tell you not to try hard enough for your god to see you.
Well, I've heard stories about, like, giants, and as I pat my sack that has my stories in it. But from what it seems like they're pretty judgmental. So, like, ogres and stuff, they're kind of like bottom left. They're the goblins of giants.
Wait, so they're adorable and loyal, trustworthy companions?
You know what? They probably are, but they get bullied by all the other giants.
Who does?
The trolls
Ogres.
and the little giants.
Ogres.
Bigger's better with giants, apparently. Well, I shouldn't have to tell you. Look at you. You're enormous.
I'm looking at you because I do know what you're trying to say.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that might not be the highest compliment because Godric set the bar low and reasonably high. In the clouds, wink, wink. Cloud giants, really strong.
They're also fucking massive.
So when ogre.
Well, it's all subjective, Godric. You're fucking massive.
Yes, but if I don't come up to something's knee, it's a little bit impressive.
Trin comes up to your knee.
I actually look down to you. Don't come up to my knee.
Well, past.
What? How tall are you?
3'7".
Yeah, you're like my waist.
You're insulting Trent. He's above my knee by a lot.
I'm not insulting him, I'm simply misquoting his height. I'm not insulting him because it doesn't matter that he's short.
Well,
Just
now
like
I
it
feel
doesn't-
like I put lips on for nothing.
I think,
Because I look down at my shoes. I wear
I think we're
lips.
talking in circles again about things that don't really matter.
It's fine.
Locke, will you help me grab this piece here?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the last piece is kind of like a large armoire that he helps you tip over and like just kick over to the side and move out of the way. The door itself is reinforced. It has all the locks and mechanisms necessary for locking the inside, and somebody slid a huge locking board on the inside just down in place.
So it's barred.
Yeah.
Yes, and we should leave it that way, but be mindful of it if we do run through here.
Well, here, let me do this. I'm gonna actually reach underneath and like grab the board and kind of give it like a light lift to kind of like gauge how heavy it is.
Or
So if we-
unstick it. If it's
Heavy enough that you would probably at least need to put some effort into it.
Okay.
It's pretty solid.
And the
It
other,
definitely looks like it's actually based on the texture and looking at it, you recognize right away that it's definitely ironbark for sure.
Mm.
So
If
there are other locks like pins in the ground and stuff, or
yes.
All right.
Mhm.
Why don't we unlock everything but the bar?
agreed.
Not a terrible idea. And Godric, as you say you want to impress Crom, maybe you should stop testing whether something's heavy and just know you can lift it.
Well, no, I'm lifting it now, so when we come running back, I know I can apply the necessary strength that's not going to hit you. If I'm running
Right.
behind you and I lift up and throw behind
So
me,
I start pulling up,
Godric, take what I said
pulling up
less
pins
literally.
and just
Think of the
So that
wisdom in my
just
words.
taking all the
Okay.
locks off.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Each one takes
Know your
a great
strength.
deal of effort, and with each one, a metal screech kind of rings through the room as you're doing it.
Well, I would have, with great deal of effort, I probably would have stopped at the first. Like, "Gah!"
I mean, you got the first one out.
just keep
Yeah.
going. We're already past this.
Mhm.
I'm not worried about the noise. I'm just
I'll help. Yeah.
Yeah. So
There's no place for it.
as you guys both kind of pull the last one out and with this metal just like rip as it kind of comes out of its slot, the upper floors kind of shake and you can pick up on a massive discharge of arcane magical energy kind of just radiates outward from
Probably a
the
lightning
top
strike.
of the tower. With that, there is also some commotion in the upper floors. You swear it sounds like there's something up there. Some sort of beast growls from up above, and then it's followed by a couple of others. And some shambling in the roof, like the floor above you. You can hear something scraping across the bottom of the floor.
It's a long shot, but do I recognize those growls at all? Like, do they have a distinct tone or like?
Make a nature check.
All right. Nature is in
15.
You spent plenty of time in Samaria in the wilderness, probably more so than even anybody else in here, in your party. It is for sure a large, very large direwolf is somewhere upstairs. However, the low growl, you have no idea.
Weird.
It's almost guttural and almost like inhuman.
One of those things was a dire wolf.
What business does a direwolf have in that?
No.
She may be experimenting.
The other thing was
Or
not.
a menagerie of some sort.
What?
A collection.
Whatever the second thing was, it was not. It was not natural. I'm curious now.
Nothing here is natural.
I'm actually gonna turn and I'm gonna start heading to where I think the growls are coming from. If I can.
It was extremely faint,
Oh, okay.
so it's high above
It's not-
you.
Okay. Keep it on.
The more immediate noise is the sound of
Shambling.
something being dragged across the ground, above on the ceiling above you.
Oh, so just so my mind has it right, we have
It's a vaulted ceiling. The room is a large chamber. It looks like some sort of entry hallway,
Okay.
or you don't see any chairs or anything. But this area, the floor you're standing on, seems to be made of solid stone, which makes up the outside of the tower upwards. The floor above you is for sure some sort of wood. Based on like the ribbing and everything, it's probably pretty solid, assuming it isn't already rotting out from termites or something else, ready to just fall apart. But in total, it's about 25 to 30 feet is where your ceiling is.
Yeah.
Well then, shall we continue on? And be wary of whatever things are. Apparently something is being dragged upstairs too.
The drift globe, all it really revealed is that there were a ton of normal bats just living in the rafters, and a bunch of them were flittering about and moving, especially after you guys had just been moving stuff around. But with every bit of noise you were making, you could hear the distinct beating of much larger wings on the outside of the tower and the sounds of screeching coming from the upper floors, for sure. Because when you flew to the tower, there was at least a minimum of 100 Fel Bats nesting in the ruins nearby, and the tower itself had a few hanging out, but it was pretty sparse when it came to them actually being on top.
I wish there was some way we could, I don't know, see through the door before we opened them. To be prepared for whatever lies ahead. I have nothing, though.
I don't think I can do anything like
You
that.
said you wanted to pick this door this time, right?
I can try.
Well, first, I'm going to reach over and see if it's locked.
So you guys headed all the way up the stairs to go to the next floor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you get to this door, this door has definitely been replaced and reinforced. It seems like a fairly intricate arcane locking mechanism on the inside of the door. Looking at it doesn't seem like something you're going to just get by through sheer force. There is no window to the other side. And it definitely looks like someone has, maybe not recently come through here, but there is a very, very light trace of footsteps in kind of just the general clutter that's been built up on this set of stairs, which seems to be lined with stacks of books, like just against the wall, just all stacked up in this ascending kind of pattern.
Does there appear to be some sort of, like, mechanism or alternate way of opening this door, maybe?
Oh, it's definitely a mechanism. It's a magical lock of some sort.
Oh.
It's built into the door, so there's no external devices, but for sure it's going to require somebody with arcane magic to get through it and figure it out.
Well, my time to shine is
Lock. And I reach over and I actually just like go to
So
high
you're
five Lock.
arcane too,
Like tag
aren't
him
you?
in.
Bardic? I'm pretty sure bards are arcane.
It's a different kind of magic, though.
But yeah, I reach over and I high five you in and tag you in.
Sure.
It's your turn now.
All right. So I kind of kneel in front of the lock and kind of test it out. I suppose I want to... Is there...
You could cast Dispel Magic and it would get rid of it.
Yeah.
Assuming it's at a high enough level.
Yeah. And then...
Whatever the magic that's holding the parts in place, aside from that, there might be any number of combinations or magic needed to get through it.
Yeah. So there's no way to determine. It could be like a voice command,
It
or
could be.
a rune, or like an actual object, like
Yeah,
a
it
key.
could be.
There's too many ways for this. We could guess for 1,000 years and never get it. So I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic at 3rd level.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
any effect?
Yeah. So you place the edge of your staff against the door, mutter a few arcane words, some symbols, and the spell dissipates. And the door, you hear some mechanisms on the inside, some tumblers come out of place, and then the door kind of shifts and comes out a little bit. Or goes inward a little bit, I should say.
All right, Godric. Back to the front.
Good to open it? Alright.
Be gentle.
Turn the handle to see if it unlocks, see if it goes.
It opened.
Yeah, it was already open like a little bit.
Oh.
But, I mean,
Never mind.
You never know what else is behind the door.
I then kind of lean in and begin walking forward slowly.
Okay.
Trying to keep an eye out for anything that might, like...
Oh, I got you.
I'm going behind him.
So, I need you to make a DC 13 Dex saving throw, and no, you don't get advantage on this because you can't see it.
DC 13?
Mhm.
Pass.
So, as you step through the threshold, as a redundancy, a physical trap, you hear something slide out of place. A piece of metal shoots forward and cleaves into the door, just completely slamming it into the wall and getting stuck in it. And it's just this sheared blade that strikes into it.
Oh, yep, there's definitely traps here. Wow, that almost got
And then you hear some stuff in the room move and some feet shuffling around. But in the absolute pitch blackness of the room, you can't see anything. And it sounds like it's coming closer to you.
I take my hammer,
Uh-huh.
and does it look like there's stairs, or is it just straight?
Can you see in the dark?
No, so I just toss the hammer.
Yeah.
Kind of like it through the doorway.
All right. I mean, you hear it go through the room. It slams into something. More than likely, you hear the distinct cracking of stone breaking in place and falling onto the floor, but nothing else.
Katarina, can you push your orb deeper in there?
Sure, but I'm going to stay behind you as much as possible, and I'll try to lean around him and kind of hold my.
I'll
glove there a little
I'll
bit.
move aside, but keep most of my body in front of her, so if something does happen, I'm there to just take the shot.
Okay. So as she leans past you, kind of guides the drift globe in there. It starts sliding in the room. Out of the darkness, a disheveled, rotten face of a corpse kind of just comes through the doorway into you, as this like skeleton barely clothed in rags, just kind of tries to bite into you and like fall onto you. So now you're stuck with this thing grappling on you, and it's like in there, forcing its way out. From it comes about 3 more that are just kind of forcing their way into the staircase.
I'm just gonna try to just grab the one I have and just crush its head in.
Make me an athletics check, please.
Natural 20.
20? Yeah, you just break it apart. It comes apart with ease, just relatively, and just a little bit of effort just crushes the skull and it falls to the ground. There's like a wisp of like energy that kind of dissipates from it, and like a very, very quiet but sharp pitched scream that comes out from it when you crush it.
Right.
And then the next one in line just comes straight at you.
I'm gonna call the hammer back at that point.
Oh, all right.
With him in front of me, I'm just like...
While he's doing that, I'm just going to pull my holy symbol out. And in his glorious wrath, Glorindel banished all of the undead. And I'll turn undead in the room.
All right. So as the hammer comes through, it gets just disintegrates the one in front of you. And the same thing, a wisp of like small light and a scream. And then this holy symbol, you hear him say that, and there's this flash of brilliant lance of light that just sheds through the opening of the doorway. And you see it just immediately disintegrate about 20 of these skeletons in the room. They just shatter, come apart in the room, and then it's just silent.
Good job, you got one.
I do.
Well,
I also,
I
got
guess
the,
if-
I also got the big one. But who's
it
counting?
wasn't that much bigger. It was a growth on his... Never mind.
It was bigger. I saw it.
Well, and did Drift Globe actually get inside the room?
Yeah.
I just feel this might be necessary. I'm gonna... Anyone have a torch on them?
Well, we have a drift globe.
How would if I'm in
Which
front?
kind of is just like rocking in place. And
I'm
kind
sure
of
Katarina will let
meandering.
you hold the drift globe.
I walk over to the drift globe and I grab it and just hold it over to you. It's fully malleable.
You can feel that there's like a little bit of lift to it, like it's trying to pull itself up and just kind of go upwards, but
Oh.
you know, a little bit.
Right. Push it.
Okay. Yeah, it just kind of just slowly just drifts forward.
You so much.
The room, now you've gotten a solid look at it, there's actually about 5 or 6 bodies hanging from the rafters on ropes. And the room looks like there's a bunch of just random crap in here, like random junk, stuff that whoever thought it might have been important had brought in here with them.
Ah,
Like maybe people were living in here. There's like makeshift beds, and it's hard to tell, but somebody either hidden here or they retreated to this spot
I'm
at some
starting
point.
to put together some sort of story here.
Well, should we try to take them down?
No.
Why?
I don't. I would put, if I somehow decided to hang myself because I was weak, I'd prefer not to stay there forever.
If you hung yourself, yes, but perhaps it was murder. Either way, if you're wanting to cleanse this tower, we'll deal with the threat and then I can help with that.
Alright.
So there's a door on the other side of the room.
I'm gonna just kind of push the globe towards the door. I'll look around a little bit on edge from the previous blade of death.
If we're to start gathering any sort of clues as to what we're up against, it might start here.
I want to look
Trim?
around.
Let's rummage.
Yeah! And I start diving into the piles of junk.
What time is it? It's sleuth o'clock.
It's rummage time.
While they're rummaging, I'm gonna look on that door, see if there's any more magic
I
locks.
don't actually do any rummaging.
If it's locked
I
at all.
stand over Tren and watch as he rummages, and I occasionally, like, kick things towards him or point towards things he should dig through.
Sounds like a plan.
He's a whirling dervish of search.
Make me an investigation check with advantage because he's Ulthion's sort of helping you. The door doesn't look like it has any sort of magic lock. As a matter of fact, it had a physical lock at one point, but it looks like it's broken.
Okay, so it just
And
opens,
based on
right?
what you're seeing, probably recently.
So it just opens.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna go back to the blade of death, and I want to see if I can find out how it triggered.
Oh. I'm like, we just left a blade of death lying.
I want to see what possibly triggered it.
That's a
Like if
root
it was
item
me
right
hitting
there.
something, if it was like a mechanical trap, or if it's just I have no idea.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Dibs.
And do it at disadvantage.
Ooh.
Dibs on the Vorpal sword. I know it's wasted in my hands, but I
Yeah.
want it.
Investigation,
I got a 21, by
Yeah.
the way.
solid 6.
Solid
That's
6.
19 for me.
You look, but I mean, you're sure that there's something there. I mean, it definitely came down after you entered the room, but as to exactly how and why it was triggered, there's nothing that's obvious about why that happened, other than it's obvious that this trap was, like, homemade. It's not like a blade, and it definitely wasn't machined for the purpose. It was very crudely
Put together.
shaped and put together.
Right, so imagine this. We are a group of villagers.
No.
Driven from our town into this tower for protection. We barricade the front doors. We get up in here. We lock this door. Somebody in that group is a spellcaster, a wizard or a priest of some sort. They create the magical lock. They build this trap here. They were running from something.
Seems that way.
The bodies that are hanging from the rafters, are they like skeletal at this
Yeah.
point? Okay.
They're more or less just totally decomposed.
Okay.
Yeah. There's scraps of clothing. It's obvious that it's men and women's dresses and shirts and and pants. But yeah. So, what'd you get?
What was that?
A 21?
What's that?
And why is it going off so loud?
Well,
Womp womp.
I silenced it, but not silenced enough.
That doesn't sound silenced at all. I'm just gonna be on your side here.
Listen, you just need to squeeze harder.
Hey,
You
it's only-
find,
it's only funny when I do it
after
to you.
digging through just tons of stuff, there seems to be, in fairly decent condition, which looks like some sort of journal or diary with just filled. Immediately looking upon it, it looks like it was written or maintained by somebody named Stefan.
Yeah, Stefan.
A lot of it is just life about living in the area, the villages and towns surrounding the castle. He talks about the castle itself and visiting. It doesn't get interesting until maybe about the last 15 pages or so.
Castle, town, new road.
And
Oh,
Stefan
there's
makes
the bridge.
starts making mention of the Harrowing family, who had the castle. Whose the father was Caleb. He had a son named whoops, accidentally skipped down here. Let me scroll back up.
Human family.
Training
A son named Jeffrey. His wife Otelia, and their twin sisters or twin daughters Tatia and Alyssa.
What was the wife's name?
Otelia. And he starts complaining about dark things in the wilderness, people going missing, being hunted down and slain, and rumors of worshipping of a dark force in the castle. The family started becoming increasingly closed off, distancing themselves from the troubles and the worries of the people, and they were no longer listening to them or appealing to them in any way.
Family in the castle?
The family in the castle, the Harrowing family. And then that's the first time that you see groundskeeper mentioned. And the castle's groundskeeper, Storth, more or less seemed to have been a pretty gentle and nice individual. Kind of befriended Stefan and or Lance, sorry. I had those mixed up. It's Lance Talbot seems to be the person who authored it.
Okay.
Stefan was the name of the ghost boy that you guys were talking to. I did the wrong spot there.
Oh yeah, it was.
Stolth is still the groundskeeper, right?
Storth.
Storth.
Yeah. So as you're kind of going through this accelerated version of events, it seems what happened was something assailed the town. Something dangerous and evil attacked them. The people assumed it came from the castle, so with their backs against the wall, they basically assailed the castle, killed the Harrowing family, and took residence up in the castle to hide from whatever was in the village. And slowly but surely, he describes everybody going absolutely insane over time and either killing themselves or killing one another. And then he mentions seeing this phantom wraith on the grounds with its large scythe, just taking people away and taking them down below into the dungeons. And that's where the entries stop.
Clarifying question. How many bodies are hanging from the rafters?
12.
12 bodies?
Mhm.
Okay. I was trying to see if that added up to the amount of family members that lived in this tower. How fresh do these bodies look?
Oh, they're completely decomposed. They're more or less skeletal at this point.
Gotcha.
Based on the dating, this happened at least over about 100 or so years ago, easily.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this door's open.
Oh, Theon, I think we're right. The presence of this place, this dark force, it's not just corrupting, it drove these people crazy.
That would explain our mood.
Something's not adding up, though. If the groundskeeper was... It seems that the groundskeeper was an integral part of everything that happened, but the groundskeeper's been defeated and there's still this lingering force.
Yeah, but
Did you read that story to us? Did you relay
well,
that
I
information?
called out like the important bits. Oh, the groundskeeper, this, that.
Well, at least the way they describe it, their problems were before the groundskeeper as well. Because
When the
apparently,
groundskeeper was still human.
he was apparently gentle and nice.
The
So-
dark force came from the castle and it probably corrupted the groundskeeper.
What if the dark force is higher and up still?
Well, I'm sure it is, but it's still not adding up. If this happened over 100 years ago, we're not dealing with some human wizard.
Oh, we're doing more. What
Why
if the
not?
human wizard is? What if the
Because
human
immortality is only gained in
Necromancy is the
sparse few ways.
necromancy is the magic of life.
Yes,
and
but what-
manipulation.
the person we met was very much alive.
Yes, but Trin uses a necromantic magic to heal, and despite where your origin comes from, so do you. Necromancy has a stigma, but if you manipulate life in any way, good or ill, that's necromancy.
You're speaking of theories, though. I've never heard of a single magic that can prolong your existence save from transformation.
What is about these stories of
She may not be human.
It's possible, but I don't think that's what we encountered at the castle.
Either way, maybe the dark force is what the witch is here for.
I see what you're saying. But yes, perhaps the witch isn't the dark force. She's here for it or utilizing it.
Exactly.
Yes, Godric. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I was reading Thalen's book here, and apparently they had some sort of encounter with a dread wraith that was once a person but was sticking around trying to regain her power. It might not be so different from what's going on here.
How did they defeat it?
Well,
Violence.
Yeah,
That's how everyone defeats everything.
I don't know, it goes into a bunch of flowery words here. So it's kind of hard to tell what... Murder and extreme violence and something about rituals.
Well then, at this point, I guess there's no point in sitting around. Let's keep going.
Well, of course. But, Katarina, the orb, or that creature you speak to occasionally, do you think either of them might have an insight?
I mean, the wizard that's in the orb, he was alive long before 100 years ago.
Perhaps this was more common magic back then? The wizards of Anoth were, well, heretical in their studies, and this feels like something they... It wouldn't be a stretch to believe that the wizards of Anoth also delved in things similar to this.
Yeah, it could exist there, it could exist here. I guess we won't really find out till we get up there.
Whatever the evil is, it's not that old. 100 years isn't much.
What did we just continue forward then?
Yes.
I think so.
All right. I'm gonna go up to the door. You opened it, right?
Yeah, I just pulled it open.
And then, is it stairs or is it another hallway?
It's a hallway, and you can see stairs at the end.
Alright, I'm just gonna kind of look around and just throw the hammer to the other end of the hallway.
Okay. It hits the stairs on the other end and actually destroys them. So, yeah. Like, you shatter the stairs, and they just like the. So when you throw it, it goes to the other end where you clearly see stone, and you hit the staircase. But the stairs are made out of wood, so your hammer goes right through them, and then there's just this tumbling, crumbling sound of just like shit falling and hitting the ground below. And when you kind of look outwards, you could see that like it runs, and the grand hall is below you to the right, so you can see down into it, the stair, like, from these stairs, the doorway.
Godric, it's a hammer of throwing, not a hammer of recon.
Why not?
Because it's a hammer.
I think maybe this is why not.
But now I feel confident to do this, and I just walk through the door.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you do, your weight, it becomes extremely obvious that there is not much holding this together, this like gantry. And it becomes very unstable very quickly. But you are able to kind of work your way all the way to where the stairs had disconnected.
Once I hit that wobble point, I'm actually like wave my hand at the door.
Don't follow me. I don't trust it with me and someone else. It's very not steady.
Well, now is the time to tell me. As I look down, I'm staring at him.
Ah!
So at this point, you're looking at like maybe just like a 4.5 foot jump up to the landing, basically,
right,
to get to the next. Because from there it goes straight across. You can see the grand hall, and it goes upwards. But this is an enclosed space from there.
Then I'm gonna put my hand where the hole in the floor is now. Call the hammer back so that way it doesn't break more.
Okay.
Kind of wiggle it through so it don't break anything. And I'm gonna grab Trin.
Is there a landing?
Yeah.
When I go on, or do
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick Trin up and put him onto the stairs so he can start going up first.
Do you feel yourself just what? And he picks you up there, and you're looking around, and yeah, just the staircase kind of continues upwards, and then you can see it turns after
so
about
it's-
30 or 40 feet.
Okay, so the stairway continues. There's no door there.
No, there's no door there.
Okay.
No.
Just
And
switch
then
back.
can I like I won't be able to like step up onto him. I'd have to kind of like do like a light jump almost.
You could probably just lift yourself up. You're tall enough to do it.
All right, because I,
Godric, just stop.
But Locke and
Reach
Katarina are for sure going to have to, and Ulti are probably going to have to like make a small jump to
Reach
get up
up
there.
and pull yourself up. Don't jump. I don't think the floor can take it.
I agree. And at that, the walls are stone, right?
Yes.
So I'm actually gonna place both my hands on the stone and kind of just like push myself up and like lightly down on the stairs.
Easy,
Okay.
whoa, easy boy, easy fella.
Here we should. Don't want that. Locke, you're the next heaviest.
Yeah, so I'll go last.
I was going to lift you so you don't have to jump.
We'll get to that. Let's make sure everyone else gets up first.
So who's going next? Katarina, Ultion.
I'll go.
All right.
All right. Yeah, so you get to the edge or whatever, and Godric's kind of standing up there up above, and he can kind of help you up.
Yeah, I reach out both hands so I can kind of like lift you up and like kind of like you jump into me and I can kind of let.
Little trust jumps.
Yes, less force jumps. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, works for me.
That's pretty quick. It's pretty smooth. You just kind of jump up there, and he just kind of gently moves you, assists you, and puts you next to him.
All right, come on, Ulfion.
I just casually walk forward, and then with my elven grace, I jump up and get an 18 on my athletics check.
Cool. Yeah, you just jump straight up there. You don't even make a sound while you do it.
Just kind of look at you. Now being on the same step as me, it's just kind of and put you behind me.
As you pick me up, I lightly caress your cheek.
Nice.
That got me.
And Locke.
Godric, you need to learn to be more affectionate with your friends.
You tickled me. You ruffled the beard.
Oh, yes.
Locke.
By the way, it's
Yeah,
healthy hair.
I'm standing there while they're having their exchange. Okay, he likes you now. Now help me up.
Yeah, I actually kind of press myself into the wall
This is gonna be heavy.
to like pick weight off of the stairs and lift him up.
Okay.
And they kind of place you down, and I'm pressing against the stairs so you can get up, and not both of us aren't on the same steps at the same time.
All right, fair enough.
A spider climb, that's the word I'm looking for.
Everything's fine.
Cool.
Goes splendidly. You just continue up to the next floor then?
Katarina, do you remember back in the village when we met Connor and fought the werewolf? I protected you with the magic from my cloak.
Yes.
If you're accepting, I'd like to do that again. I noticed a lot of us have certain defensive spells or abilities, but I haven't seen much of that from you.
Yes, that's not really my specialty. That would be lovely.
I'll grab the clasp on my cloak, close my eyes for a second, and just whisper a thank you prayer to Soraya, and you watch as this like ghostly female form steps back away from my cloak as it starts to billow a bit, and then that form, an elven form, armored, like clad for war, just fades into your space, and you feel this protection around you. So you have the Shield of Faith, which is a +2 to your AC. That's going to last until you, until somebody beats your AC, and then it goes away.
Ah.
That's one of
I
my
thought it was a ghost.
one of my spirits. Not quite a ghost, more of an echo.
Stop warning people when you do stuff like that.
Well, geez, expect more. Expect more.
Okay.
All right. Godric, lead the way.
Yes. I'll kind of shimmy my way past everybody and keep going up the stairs.
They say don't go.
So, it's just empty picture frames, basically. Like someone had tore out the art, kind of left on the walls to your left, and overgrown sconces. The whole place is filled with cobwebs above your head. But in general, it seems like it's been fairly maintained up to this point. You come up to the next room, which has a heavy, like, door. You can see straight through it because it's bars. In the room, softly lit by what looks like probably magical lamps. It looks like some sort of simple but well-worn, like, laboratory. You just see cages that have been either broken open in some way from either the inside or outside, but you don't see anything else in the room. Tables filled with stacks of documents and books.
Well, Theon, I think this is that bestiary you were.
Cause there's a witch in
Um,
the Tower of Fel Bats.
with these bars, is it almost extended? Like, does it have like a lock or a handle or a door to go through? Or
No.
He's mighty handy with spells and knives.
How do we get past this part?
What?
Short of bending things out of the way,
is there a way around it right now, or another hallway to go?
No. Is it?
God, it's hard to see. Is there a lock?
I step aside, not that I can see.
Is there just a wall of bars?
Yes. I'm gonna kind of just walk and give him a tug. I feel like they could be bent.
Make an investigation check.
16.
Assuming they're made from standard iron or steel, probably, with enough time and effort.
I could probably bend them out of the way, unless someone has another idea.
I don't think you can bend them enough for you to fit through.
Take a little bit more time, but probably.
There's another way.
Yes. I think I can get on the other side.
But how do we get over there?
I don't know. Maybe there's an answer on the other side.
Is there some sort of mechanism that would retract them?
There has to be.
Oh, do I look up? Does it look like there's a slot for him to slide up?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, well.
All right. Give me some clearance.
I'll let
Can
you
I?
go.
Well, before that, can we see any kind of switch or anything?
From where you're standing? No.
I could try lifting it, or I'll let Trim go. Just, can you get out if a large creature tries to eat you?
Oh hell no! But that's not a big deal. I'll just come back again.
That's. Uh-oh.
I assume it gets harder every time.
That's some.
Don't one of you have that dimension door handy?
Sort of. It would make quite a ruckus.
Well, the point is if Tren needs help and can't get back through, then we just take Godric to Tren.
Yes, I can do that.
All right.
And if that does happen, I can then take you and I, or whichever way we want to do it. Locke and I can both get us across.
Yeah. I got this! As I pull out a really finely crafted dagger. This was a present that I got from my master, and it was crafted in the arts in Tiranoc. In the Netherland Magocracy? No?
Yes.
No?
I'm sorry, did you say something?
It's fancy!
Oh,
It is.
Now everyone watch! As I trim twilight, amaze and astound! And I throw the dagger past the bars, and I cast glitter dust. And I go poof, and I appear where in a big explosion of glitter on the other side.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Why was that all so much?
It's called Flourish.
Yeah.
Flourish.
Thank you, Katarina!
You hear light clapping.
Does the drift globe fit through the bars?
The drift globe,
It's a foot.
Oh, it's
yeah, it should be. No, not really.
a foot
No, it's not
across
going to go.
We just all slip through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't fit through.
Alright, let's see here. And I'm gonna start, heading towards... I would imagine the switch would probably be close to where the opening is, so I'm gonna start looking around the opening and along the walls, trying to find...
And I'll start looking around on this side, too. Like, if there's bookshelves, like, pulling on all the books on the bookshelves. And...
Okay. Yeah, sure. Alright, so, how far did you go into the room?
Probably like 15 feet. 15, 20 feet, because I threw a dagger.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm saying. You threw the dagger where?
You could throw it right
Just
at
towards
the other side of the
I
door.
just threw it past the bar.
you could have just, like, tossed
I like that
it
pedaling
away.
back. I threw it in there. At the
Yeah.
floor by the bars.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
So I'm in. I'm in
Line
there.
So
up
you
and
appear,
throw it
and like all this
straight to
glitter and dust just kind of like comes off you, and you're just like, thank you for
Thank
appreciating
you.
the work I do. Again, I'm just left this pile on the floor, and you kind of kick it. Whatever, As you like turn and look towards the direction of your friends, instead of them, what you see is some large creature just kind of face to face with you. Or I should say, face to muzzle. And we're gonna go to break.
Oh!
So-
Okay, we're back.
Stop
Stop texting your girlfriend.
So-
What are you doing?
You're standing here, you look up, and there's this set of just sharp canines in your face. And then past that row of canines and this nose, you see these eyes. And these yellow lensed eyes looking at you through the darkness. And it kind of moves forward, and now you're about face to face with its teeth, and there's a growling, and you can see it baring its teeth. And there's a little bit of like dripping saliva. Whatever this thing could eat you in one bite, more than likely. And then you see ears and the distinctive outline and head of a large wolf. And it's looking at you. And it's baring its teeth, but it doesn't seem to be like getting ready to attack you. It's just looking at you, and then it sniffs.
I instantly use universal speech. That allows me to speak with, or that allows any creature, up to 4 creatures within 60 feet, but this is the only one I see, right in front of me. And they can magically understand regardless of the language that I speak.
Yeah.
So, well, I was looking for a friend who's a good boy. You're protecting the house. You want to get out of here, boy? Want to get out of here? Boop, boop, boop.
So there's this kind of fierce voice that comes up from behind. It's just like its ears like go back, and it just kind of it opens up its jaws and speaks to you, and it just don't patronize me.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not some
sorry.
whelp house dog.
Well, I can see that. You're real big and intimidating. Are you looking for a way out? Are you stuck here? That cage, those bars look kind of like a real pain. Because I'm kind of stuck here too. Now we're stuck here together.
I mean,
It looks confused. Kind of looks around the room, looks past you, sees everybody over by the gate, and just. So are you coming to oust the wizard from the tower?
Well, we were. How do you feel about that?
I would very much appreciate you killing her.
Oh, well, that's definitely what we were gonna do. Are you hungry? Have you been stuck up here long? Hold on, let me. Here. And I reach into my sack and I pull out some, like, old cheese. Oh, you want some cheese?
No. It just shakes, literally shakes its head, just no.
Well, sir,
Pulls back.
what have you been eating?
Tren.
I look around the room, like, using
Can
it
we
as an excuse
understand
to
him?
kind of, like, look around.
Huh?
Can you understand Tren?
It said it can
Yeah, I
understand
think so.
anything you say in any language, right? So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we
it
should
magically
speak in common.
understands me, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like, well, you're not hungry? What have you been eating? So I look around the room.
Well, I've been getting fed.
Oh. Well, is the evil wizard feeding you? Is the food bad? Is that why you want her to die?
Yes, it's absolutely terrible. But I would like to be let out.
Oh, well, I would like to let you out. Do you know, you happen to know what the mechanism is? It looks like those bars slide.
Kind of turns and looks over there. I think the mechanism is on the wall over there.
All right. Well, just so you know, these are my friends. They're basically my pack. Those are my pack. They're real nice, and they're here to kill Evil Witch 2. They're not really looking to be mean to any wolves. Dire wolves. You're a dire wolf. You're a big old wolf.
Are you safe in there,
You
Tren?
can go release the lever now. You're starting to bother me.
Oh, I thought we were gonna be friends.
No, we're not going to be friends, especially when you keep treating me like a dog.
I'm just being friendly.
Just let me out.
But if I let you out, we'll be friends, because...
No, we won't be.
We'll bond it
I
over
plan
this
on leaving this
experience.
place and never thinking about it again.
Well, maybe we'll see each other one day and we'll remember the time that you were set free
If
by
I
your
see you
friend
again
Tren.
and you're this annoying, I'm going to eat you.
I'm saying this as I'm like walking over the thing to manipulate the mechanism. And it's like, oh, I know you feel that way now because you've been trapped for so long, but you'll look back on this memory fondly, I'm sure of it. And I try and like flip the switch.
Yeah, it flips. You hear a series of cranks and clicks, metal lock into place, and then the gate starts rising.
Wow, that worked! Thanks so much.
That's how levers normally work.
Yeah, but now we get to kill the evil wizard.
Listen, because you're letting me out, when you go kill her, just be aware.
Of
Her minions, the other things that are loose in the tower.
other things loose in the tower, like ghosts. I heard there's like a banshee type thing, spirit.
I've never seen anything like that.
What kind of things have you seen?
we're all
In some of the other
pressing into the room
cages,
now.
strange, amorphous creatures.
Strange
Something made
amorphous
of
creatures. Now I'm
Wilderness
repeating
and
this.
ground. Some being made of fire.
A fire, you say?
Yes.
A being made of fire, gang.
What? What are you doing?
There's creatures loose in the tower. It's not just us.
By the way, I feel like you're acting weird.
Because I'm making a friend.
Speaking to the wolf.
Yeah. What's
Oh.
your name, by the way? Do you have a name?
I'll share my name with you. I said we're not friends. We're not going to be friends.
I look at him for any distinguishing marks.
The name of the wolf.
Make a perception check.
Woo, baby! I see all the distinguishing marks. 22.
He seems to have like a crack or broken like front fang.
Well, that sounds like a... I'm gonna call you Fang instead of Fangs, because it looks like you've earned the title.
You call me whatever you want. You let me out. There's other things loose in the tower. Just be aware. I haven't seen the wizard in at least a week.
This is
To
my
let you
friend
know.
Fang, and he says to watch out. There's horrible creatures in the town.
Is he coming with us?
No, he's gonna leave.
Yes. How? Through the front door that's still barred?
There's not exactly a way out for it. And plus the broken stairs.
Oh, I'm sure he can manage. How big is this direwolf next to Godric?
Next to Godric, probably up to his hip,
So like the size of a regular wolf to a human?
pretty much.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well then, are we letting it out or not? I don't think it likes to be caged.
Well, yeah, that was the whole point. I let it out. Technically, it's kind of out. Well, he's kind of out.
Clears
Godric, do you
away.
want to take him downstairs and let him out real quick? We won't go on without you.
It'll be hard. Just leave the door and let it go.
Yeah, the way we came in is collapsed, but there's a barred door that my friend Godric could open for you. And I imagine it might be difficult. Being in the form of a wolf, doors aren't made for wolves. I try not to be condescending. Would you like Godric to help you open the door so you can leave?
No,
Yeah.
I'm more than capable of letting myself out.
Are you sure? Are you hurt at all?
No, I'm not hurt.
Mm.
I'm hungry and now I'm irritated because you keep talking to me.
Is there a way to open the cage at all?
What do you mean?
He's not in a cage.
Oh,
He's
not
not
in a
in a cage.
Yeah, he was on the other side of the bars.
Oh,
No.
you're right. Yeah, I keep
Now
getting caged
you're
because of
locked
bars.
in with him.
Yeah,
My brain thought bars.
exactly.
Yeah, okay, that makes
you're
sense.
locked in here with me.
Well, the offer for cheese still stands.
I don't need
thank
your
you.
cheese. I would like to go out in the wilderness and hunt and run and go back to my pack.
Oh, okay.
And he says this in common out loud to you all, by the way.
Oh!
Oh, he can just speak.
I haven't
Yeah.
heard a direwolf speak in a long time.
I've never heard it. Is the cheese still on the table?
Yeah?
Thank you.
How long have
Did
you
you have
been
enough
here?
bread?
Too long.
Fair enough.
Look, he wants to leave. Let him go.
Will you find your pack?
Oh, I will. But you... don't cross me again. I'm eating you.
You would
Maybe
want to
meet
do that.
again one day.
His diet is terrible. You'd be sick for a week.
It's worth it.
I don't think it is. You do not
He
know
treated me like a house dog.
I saved you. Kinda. I opened the door. I was trying to be nice.
You had to open the door regardless.
Forgive the poor goblin. I was gonna say man. He didn't know any better.
We don't deign to tell you what to do anyway. Go, stay, whatever. Let's move on.
We need to move on. Thank you for pointing out the luck.
Is there anything... One question, though. Is there anything of value to the witch in this room at all? Anything you've seen her use or read through or anything?
She would always parse through textbooks, spend time, poke and prod myself and other animals.
Right.
She would take us in, take us out, take us up further in the tower. I never made it that way. I saw at least dozens of other animals taken up there, never to come down again.
Hmm. Well.
You could hear their screams, their screeches, yells, and whelps through the night.
Good day. Watch out for the scarecrow.
I will, I guess. So I watch out for the other things that are loose. Like I said, I haven't seen her for several days. She hasn't been down. I let myself out of my own cage. And since then, I've been scrounging and eating rats and mice and whatever else I can find.
Gross.
Very much so. And very much below something of my status and kind.
But you survived, I guess. That's all that matters.
Now I know why he's grumpy. That the energy of this place.
He just comes up, nose to you, just on your face. I'll remember this spell. It just shakes you.
Look, I'll remember this. I'll treasure this memory.
I will eat you. I just want you to understand that. I will eat you if I see you again.
Okay.
Well, if I'm
Yes.
around, it might be a little bit more difficult.
Well, I'm starting to think maybe that's a direwolf slang. Like,
No,
yeah,
no.
I'll eat you too, bro.
Well-
No, I'm pretty sure he's going to eat you. He wants to eat you because, just like me, you'll know the
talk
shit out of me.
nonsense.
Was-
Stop.
Standing in the middle of the Tower of Fel Bats, there's an evil energy about, and we're discussing whether or not a direwolf is actually meaning what it says. Let it go. We have something to do.
I did let it go. I pulled the lever.
I just
Happy
kind of lightly
hunting.
pat
Shall
Trin
we?
away from the dire wolf.
Yeah.
We have a tower to
Just
kill.
starts
Go.
moves past you all towards the gate. Kind of turns its head and starts heading down. You can hear it head down the staircase and the sound of a thump, followed by another and a short gallop, and then you don't hear anything as it goes further down the tower.
You know, we should still probably go down and shut that door.
What, the cage door?
How do you think the wolf got out?
No. Whatever it does, let it be. Forward.
Tactically speaking, that's a terrible idea.
Let's close the bars. We know how to open them.
What
Alright.
happens if we're running away and we have to open them again? They didn't exactly open fast.
That bar didn't look like it would be lifted easily either.
You know what, Godric, if we have to run away and the bars aren't opening fast enough, you'll finally get your chance to, die a martyr.
We won't be running away.
No, I say we do not close it.
Remember
It's
when I
not.
asked you not to pee in that chamber with Taylor, and I walk over and close the bars? We're even now.
Sometimes I just want to break your face against the wall. I just want you to know that.
It's Rin.
Understandable.
No.
Lock.
Yeah, lock. Maybe an investigation check.
Hey, I'm rolling pretty good tonight.
That's
Keep
scary.
that up.
Yeah, that's waste them now. Anyways,
Oh,
Poor
For
Matt.
now,
He's just like,
it's 19.
19. While everybody was having this very boring conversation, rummaging through the texts and books and stuff on there,
Mm-hmm.
it's become incredibly clear that one of the things that she was absolutely studying was chimeras. The mutations, mutagens, abominations. There's a vast list of
keeping this
strange
book.
and interesting things. Everything from gazers to elementals. She has detailed books on the anatomy of beholders and theorems. She was doing some pretty crazy stuff. There's also a fairly detailed list of dates and calendars where and when she was like a day planner, when and where she was expected in court, and how long she had to be there, and accounts and transactions.
In her disguise.
Yeah, there's just ledgers, and with all of it being tied together, it's almost like a code that needs to be cracked, because it's apparent that whoever this person is, they have guises all over the place.
Oh, good.
They have at least a dozen different personalities and guises that they're keeping track of and maintaining.
Secret necromancer spy. Love it.
So,
Well,
yeah, there's also. Let's see, would that be there? There aren't any details specifically, but one of the rooms above is definitely like an alchemical laboratory. So you're pretty sure whatever magic or things she was messing with were probably in there, staged and kept here. Observations and minor stuff, magic would have been done here, magic experiments, but most of the actual work would have been done in the levels above.
Okay. Several levels above is where we're going to find her primary laboratory. She was doing experiments on creatures and trying to create abominations, standard horrible things. I'll be keeping this.
Oh, she has a teleportation circle. That's important.
Oh, do I know it's? Does she have it like a drawing of it?
No,
just
she
mention
doesn't. It just mentions it.
She teleports in and out. That's why the doors and the rest of the tower seem unused. She has a circle.
You move a circle.
No. If it's moved, it breaks the enchantment.
It's a fixed point in space. So the circle may be on the top floor of the tower, and if the tower fell, the circle would still be there, even without the floor.
Well, that's also true, but more than likely the circle would just be destroyed.
You do see a name that stands out to you.
Huh?
Niamze.
Niamze?
Apparently a lot of whatever she was building or making was being taken to this person, whoever it was.
Historical relevance to that name?
I was actually just going to ask if there was a linguistic relevance to that name. Like it's
Elven.
Yep.
The last delivery was
I think so.
was like 7 days ago or so.
Did it explain what kind of creature or creatures were delivered?
A Hydra.
Oh, created a Hydra. She's pretty good at this. I can do that too, sort of. Mine's cooler. Alright. Yeah. She's talented at warping flesh. That's very clear from all of this. It's horrific, really.
Sure, but it's not dark. It's not a perverted magic, really. A lot of people would consider it wrong or whatever, but it's simply mutations and genetic modification. It wouldn't create the kind of miasma we're feeling here.
Maybe not. Who knows? We'll keep searching. I also have a list of names of her disguises that we should probably send out to some nobles. Clear their court. Clean house.
I do know that the Chimera workings, that's definitely the workings of Enoth or Nadir. So things that are pretty classically their domain.
Yeah. I've always been terrible at necromancy. I suppose it's the nature of me. But, you know, I'll keep the book. Keep the lists. Might be interesting for someone.
I suppose.
Valuable, maybe.
Mortals are going to learn one day, and
Alright.
your whole civilization will come crashing down because of casting the wrong spell at the wrong time.
We're at the top of the stairs. Another door.
Woo, we're playing D&D!
Official night.
Got him.
It's official now.
It's official.
Yep. It's official. We're playing D&D. I know we've been playing for hours, but it wasn't really official until...
Mike
it's
hurt
never
himself.
official until Mike hurts himself on our table.
I crossed my legs, and the table said no, and my knee regrets life choices.
Yeah, gotcha.
I like that your knee has consciousness.
It does. My entire body does. There's a reason I walk around and avoid.
What are you doing?
Looking at it to summarize through all the pages and everything, there's the list of all the names and everything gives you about all of her alternate identities. So in total, there's about 12 of them, including Gythar, which is the guise of the seems to be the actual name attached to Isambard, who is the court wizard for the Ravencroft family.
He went
So
missing, but he didn't go missing.
exactly who went missing. So it seems that Gaithar, who is in this tower, is a wizard who is impersonating not just Isambard in this court, but it seems several court wizards in Bravadis alone, as well as a secret identity of a humble little apothecary in Kriat, and then there's another like mage rite in Suwan. So a lot of different places that this person was going to.
Person's got an obsession.
Yeah, exactly. That name Niemze though shows up both in the guys column and the delivery column for the Hydra.
All right.
Hmm.
If we could somehow find if she has all of her known circles drawn somewhere, we could get a lot of places really quickly.
Yes, we could. I'd like to very much find that.
Well, we could get to a lot of other circles very quickly if we knew which ones they were attached to.
Trin, are you capable of removing information from someone's memories?
I am.
Removing information from someone's
Or
memories.
learning, you could copy it, or...
You mean like delving into someone's mind and stealing their thoughts and
Yes.
memories?
Oh, never mind. I thought you just meant interrogation.
No, well, there's that too.
Well, I have some magics, like, it's my specialty. I don't know. It depends. Are you suggesting I do this on the wizard? Because that's generally harder than, I don't know,
What?
someone like
What if
else. As I
what,
keep looking over at Godric.
All right.
what if the wizard is breathing harder and maybe missing a limb or two?
We can try and extract the circles if they're not drawn somewhere, but
Yeah.
it's not a priority.
Godric, as we tarry, the shadows grow deeper. Let's press on.
God, just so you know, the easiest way to do it is when they're asleep.
Maybe we try and subdue this wizard, if she's or they are even here.
If the Light of Alatrari wishes to subdue the wizard, she will be subdued. Best not to dwell on it. Let's move forward.
Very well.
Alright.
I won't mourn her loss. Getting this collection of circles would be helpful, but it's not necessary.
All right. To the door.
Okay.
To the door!
Think there are any more door?
No.
And leave my table.
Time out.
Yeah, here.
Up the stairs.
Yep, let's go.
Your fucking jokes are terrible. They hurt my brain. You might even say they leave me a little Sauron.
Oh!
Anyways.
I'll eat you too, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You're terrible.
I know.
Both should feel bad.
Ah, Gollum!
What?
It's just Smeagol, though. That's how I am.
Oh my god.
Tara laughed. That's all that matters to me. She's the only one here with a
That's
sense
the
of
one
humor.
It's bad. Alright.
So, up the rest of the tower then?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Those were all very bad puns.
So,
Those are terrible.
the tower leads you through the next few sets of floors before you start getting close to the top. Looking out some of the few outward-facing windows, you can see that you're pretty high up, and it's definitely just dead of night outside. You can see and hear like the bats just kind of floating around, flying in large groups outside, kind of circling the tower. A couple of bed chambers, some storage rooms later. Nothing really of consequence or interest really comes up in this amount of time. Moving through the rest of the tower, though, you finally come to the alchemical laboratory.
After talking to that direwolf, does Trent seem like he has a little pip in his step?
God damn it.
Yeah, he seems kind of merry.
You motherfuckers.
I hate that I've been dragged into this.
Yeah.
Just gonna go right now. No, I don't need baby like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Need some more hair grease. You gotta do something about that Frodo.
Oh my gosh. Anyways.
All right. So we get into the lab.
Yeah, there's so many stairs in this tower. I don't think my leg will last.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What are
There we
we
go.
doing?
Stop it.
God, you guys are terrible. All of you, especially Justin.
All right.
Now that's over.
It's not. There's more.
Now my train of thought is completely lost.
I don't even know what the
You're
fuck
in
we
the
were doing.
laboratory.
We're in the lab.
I don't even know what we were doing anymore.
The laboratory.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's,
we just got to the edge of the lab.
Laboratory.
lab is short for laboratory, so you don't have to say so many syllables.
That's true.
I'm
You
really
can definitely
short
do that.
enough. Laboratory.
Okay. Take a look around. It's all very interesting.
Careful.
Yeah, so it's actually an extraordinarily large room. This is maintained far better than all the other rooms are. It's apparent that this is her primary place of research and work. You can see that there are operating tables and these huge tubes filled with strange substances kind of just in the middle of the room. There are all kinds of dissected creatures and guides to how to do so, and detailed notes on like the creation methods of like chimera and the growing of hydra and how to do it properly. It's apparent that whoever this wizard is has gathered a ton of research from sources in the Nether Magocracy, all the way from Eredor to Yabalari, different wizard circles. This is a massive collection of knowledge about mutations or mutating creatures and making them. There's even like a detailed breakdown of observations of like the Fel Bats themselves and theorizing like where they came from and how they came to be. It becomes obvious that they predate the tower and the region. Like they've been here for a really long time. But the thing that stands out the most about it is it seems like this, looking through the dating, is gotta at least be a minimum of a couple hundred years of compiled research and work that's hadn't been done. Minimum.
Okay. So I gather it all together and just kind of start. I don't get all that, put it in the bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
We'll review it closer later. Just more of what I found below. Chimeras.
Right, but there could be a secret in that book that we could use. If you're having a hard time reading because of the flickering light or the distance of the drift globe, I'll happily take over.
I'm simply anxious to get this finished.
Understandable.
We can always review after. I don't expect
Yes,
she's.
finding a weakness to the witch after we kill her would be very beneficial.
I would be very surprised if someone wrote, "This is what will kill me," in their research.
Well, I imagine like most things, you just hit them harder and make them to die faster.
Generally, that's how it works.
We have
No, you didn't
literally
say-
no tactical acumen.
I pull out the book. Feel free. It's complicated, isn't it?
No,
I'm just gonna follow behind the group and just be reading like certain passages lightly out loud and just
gonna reach
focusing on the book.
I'm gonna reach over and say, "Give me that."
Why?
I'm
Now, listen, Locke.
I've been
In
practicing reading.
character.
We're
Why?
not even.
I've been trying to practice reading.
No, you're
holding it
just-
right.
It's
Just wanted to get you back to the door.
We were even for the door. Now we're not even. I have to get you back again.
Can't you see the energy
I
in this
worship the
part?
god of revenge. Don't get into this with me.
Don't give in to the energy of this place.
I go to the other door in the room. I assume leads to the stairwell.
Mm.
Tearing us apart.
I open the door.
Yeah, so you walk over there, and something crunches underneath your feet, and you realize that there's like vines growing across the floor.
Unsuccessful.
or roots, like roots or vines or something.
Okay.
And then when you step on it, like it just, there's this crack, like a branch snapping. And then you pick up your foot and you go to just keep walking, and then they actually just like legitimately just pull away.
No.
And
no.
you
Godric,
look,
you first.
you look in the corner, following where they come from, and there's just this huge, it looks like pile of mush or like some sort of wet hedge, and it begins to move and kind of come forward towards you. And this organism, whatever it is, you see very distinctly a set of like eyes and this mouth just kind of like open up.
Jeez.
As it leans forward, it starts closing in on you.
I just realized something. You're a motherfucker.
What?
All right, fine, whatever.
Hmm?
Lightning.
Lightning.
All right. Yeah, he ran away. Bad timing.
So what do you do? It's getting closer to you. It's like actually reaching out, like arms out towards you to grab onto you.
All right, oh, jeez. I mean,
Keep in.
So you guys, you can see Locke standing there.
yeah.
He's kind of partially obscured. You
as-
can't see the corner where it is. It's on the other side of one of the large bats, and you're just kind of fascinated with this stuff that's like on the inside of them. But you can see that Locke is like stopped in place and is like looking over in this corner.
So I look over at it. I say, "Oh no, not again!" And I will put up. God, fuck it. Yeah, I panic. Last time a tree attacked me, it hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So
He has PTS tree.
Alright, cool. So we're rolling initiative. So we already rolled initiative then. So cool.
Yeah,
Alright. So we'll put this on the prepping for combat screen because Locke is about to unleash a spell.
I sure
What the
am.
fuck?
Yep.
Oh my god!
Alright.
Whoa.
What?
What the heck?
This
Where'd
looks
that
so
come
cool.
from?
This looks so
This
cool.
one's really
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah, it's neat. There's
Yeah.
lights and stuff.
Hey everybody, all the things you see here, except for okay, there's a few things. Those glowy stuff created by our DM. The pillars with the torches created by our DM.
The
I
door.
want probably some of the other stuff. The door created by our DM.
Some of the other glowy stuff, China.
Yeah. Some of the
China.
really stuff China.
China.
A little bit.
The
But alright.
torches are new.
So we already rolled initiative, so we know where to go. I'm gonna grant the creature surprise though.
Fair. There's definitely a surprise.
I do need the creatures initiatives.
So, as Locke begins to cast the spell, you guys can hear him.
Yeah, I shall know not again.
Yeah. And you kind of turn. He yells no, just yells it, and you guys all turn to look, and you see some large creature, some like living piece of like moss and branches, begin like reaching towards him and moving his direction. He's like backing away from it. But at the same time, there's like a spark and a snap of I want to say. No, it doesn't really. Embers. Yeah, embers that kind of fling out from one of the torches on the wall. And it very quickly just starts pulling all the fire from the wall and reassembles in the room as a huge fire elemental.
Oh,
What?
shit!
Wow, you hit that. So you can describe it murderous.
Well,
So,
this is
So,
not optimal.
I'm burning with excitement right now.
alright.
You motherfucker.
who starts initiative?
So, the fire elemental.
I need their initiatives first.
Yes, 'cause I will.
The fire elemental gets a 14.
Okay, that's a tie with Tren. I'm guessing Tren will beat it.
Yeah, Trin beats it.
Okay.
Where's its dex? The Shambling Mound gets a 5.
Oh, it is a shambling mound.
Yep.
But our shambling mounds points.
Yeah.
Katarina's best be like, limited power!
Do I need to key you in on the top of the round?
We'll do a tag team. We'll just switch out. Switch.
No. Okay. So then on the initiative, well, it's surprise, but Locke would be first.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. It's a +6 to initiative. Get you. War wizard.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
What does that even mean?
What, by the way,
Just right back.
So yeah, let me know
It
when it's
means
my
he has
turn,
a
'cause I
much
can't- I can't
larger
go on my
fire
turn.
elemental
Yeah.
in a way.
You can.
This is my little fire element.
If I
This
start-
is
if I-
his big brother.
The
Feral
movie
Instinct
goes.
states, also, if you were surprised at the beginning of combat but not incapacitated, you can act normally on your first turn if you enter a rage before doing anything else.
Oh, nice. You can, like, bypass the surprise?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
But don't we have homebrewed rules for surprise? Because normally on surprise, you don't skip your turn. According to normal rules.
Yeah, we treat it like a surprise round.
So surprise is
I think.
isn't surprise you go in the same order, but you can't act. You just get your reaction.
Yeah,
back?
you have, like, a condition, which
Yes.
is surprise.
Yeah, surprise is a condition, and it's conditional between you and other creatures. So, like, Locke might be surprised, but Katarina's not surprised by that creature, but she is surprised by the other ones. It's totally convoluted.
I'll just verify with Anthony.
That's why everyone...
Yes.
I've done it before.
Everyone
They're
just
all
does their
surprised,
own
dude.
thing with surprise.
You're all surprised.
Well, that's fine. My only question is, I can technically use Feral Instinct, which states that if you are surprised at the beginning of combat but not incapacitated, you may act normally on your first turn if you enter a rage before doing this.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I just want to make sure, because we have homebrew rules for surprise, I want to make sure I can still do that if possible.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
I don't know. Verify.
We've had surprise before. You guys literally had surprise against you last week.
I figured.
With the ground, or the week,
did?
the first fight with the groundskeeper
We did?
surprised you guys. Yeah.
Oh, that's surprising.
Oh, I definitely did not take advantage of that time. That's
did
why
not.
I didn't think about it. Oh, fuck, you're right.
All right. So
So that's why we died.
Yeah.
so we go down the initiative order then. So
All right, Locke is first.
okay.
And because he's surprised, what does that mean?
Nothing happens.
It
My
means he
turn
can't.
ends, and
Okay.
now I have my reaction.
Yes.
Godric.
I'm going to start by raging.
Yes. Okay.
Roaring out, turning, looking at this being fire elemental. And just because I haven't done it before, I'm going to pull out the hammer, rear it back, and I'm going to smack down in front of it, hitting it with the... actually, no, I'll throw the hammer at it. And as it hits it, I'll use the ability to do the spell that's attached to it, Thunder Wave.
You're really close to it.
I am. Oh, fuck it. I'll just put the goddamn hammer at it. Fuck it. I'll throw the hammer at it.
And so am I.
I'll throw the hammer at it.
God dang it.
Does a 30-something hit.
What?
No, it misses.
That would be so unfortunate.
This is only affected by spells. And
We just have to magic missile it
Yeah.
to death.
Yeah.
That would take forever.
It's like
20 points of 20 points of damage.
It's immune to magical bludgeoning damage. What damage do you? Oh yeah, it's immune to that.
What's that?
You're swinging at a
Yes,
fire,
30.
you fool.
And then after throwing the hammer, I'll...
Is any of that fire damage?
No.
Actually, yeah.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Actually, yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, there's no fire
What?
damage. You fuck with- There's no fire damage. Stop it. Having the hammer gone, I pull out Gwendolyn and strike one more time.
Okay. Yeah, roll to attack. I can't stop you from attacking.
I'm gonna use
Go ahead,
great.
make a roll.
Sorry, my brain. Great weapon fighter.
He was trying to remember if he could pull Gwendolyn out.
Yeah. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, interacting with an object allows you to draw it.
I think it's because of the way he described it, pulling out his hammer.
Does a 23 hit?
No, it misses.
Okay.
It's a pretty high roll, dude. You understand that's an ancient red dragon's AC, right?
You know what's going on behind that DM screen? I don't ever assume.
Just saying. All right, help me out a
Fuck,
little
you
bit,
fucked
dude.
me up just now, Andy.
Okay.
6, 12,
That is an ancient red
14.
dragon, though. That's...
Yeah.
24. 36 points of damage with Gwendolyn. Stepping into it, too. Oh, God, it moves. Fuck.
Careful how you say that with a fire elemental.
I realize that. I'm not stepping into it, I'm stepping up
toward
to it.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, I step in front of it.
So you did a total of how much? 60 something, right?
So yeah, 62 points of damage, I believe.
So you're within. Okay. Alright, so. Alright, I'm just doing some quick math here. Okay. Yeah, solid set of hits. Alright. So. You take 8 fire damage when you strike it with Gwendolyn.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot less.
See 2?
Yeah, I have to have. Oh, fuck, I'm the wrong barbarian. Never mind.
And all our potions that we took before wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I have fire resistance.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying if if you had something like having it again, if it was a potion or something.
No, I was thinking raging.
Well, so resistances don't stack.
No.
Unless a rule specifically says you would have a half. If you have 2 of them, you just have resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't get to apply it twice.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Yeah. There's, yeah. So I take 4.
All right. So the hammer goes like straight into it. And you hear it strike something solid, and through the elemental, you can see that there's some sort of like almost diamond-shaped metallic object with some sort of arcane magic radiating outwards, and it kind of sparks as you strike it. And the elemental just groans. Gwendolyn has a very similar effect as you like hack at it, and the fire just kind of shoots off and burns into your skin. And you just go right through it again, striking on that solid object in the middle of the elemental.
Cool.
Okay.
After Locke would be Ulfion, but I'm surprised. Then Katarina.
Surprised?
Yeah.
Then Trin.
Surprise!
Now the fire elemental.
Alright. So the fire elemental just charges forward. It enters within 5 feet of the both of you, so you both take 1d10 fire damage apiece. So that's going to be 9 for both of you.
Round down or round up?
Round down.
Damage is always rounded up.
The fire elemental just kind of in this like almost smoke, like covered, just completely ambiguous and vague form. You can kind of make out like claws and like teeth and maybe eye slits. But it's just constantly being obscured by like this black smoke that's just radiating out from it, and it just kind of raises its these 2 almost arm-like looking appendages of fire and just like brings them down on one attack in each of you. So that's going to be a 23 to hit Katarina.
Yep. I am certainly not ancient red dragon level of tough.
Why?
Yeah, so then that's going to be 8 fire damage, and your clothing just ignites on your person. So, on the start of each of your turns, until someone douses the fire, you take an additional 5 fire damage every turn. As it's starting to catch flame.
Plus 2 to your AC, right?
Yeah, but that's...
Didn't matter. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
the second attack
had a
against
20
you, Mike,
early.
Yep.
is going to be 17 to hit.
That hits.
All right. So that's going to be 9 fire damage. And the same thing. You catch fire. Or parts of you catch fire, your clothing begins to ignite from the heat.
It's an action to like put... to
It's an
extinguish
action
yourself,
to douse
right?
the fire.
Oof.
Yep.
That's rough.
That sucks.
Okay. That ends the fire elemental's turn.
Shambling Mound.
Shambling mound. Ooh, it walks forward
No.
and fucks Matt up.
God damn it.
Maybe it shambles forward?
Ugh, just this gross squishing sound. It's kind of flacks
I'm
these
gonna go
limbs
ahead
in
and
your direction.
preempt this a
Bro,
bit.
your PTS tree is really kicking in.
Shut up.
Yep.
Reaction to shield. Ah!
Yeah.
Let us not forget what happened last.
God damn
Oh,
it.
so bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yeah, shield.
Ah, nice. Okay. So it makes a multi-attack.
Don't do that.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Well, if it's a multi-attack, makes shield more worth it. Because what if it just only did one big
So
one?
first attack. 15 to hit.
Does not.
All right. Second attack. 17 to hit.
Meats.
Meets. Awesome. So that's gonna be.
It's not awesome, you monster.
I know. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Anyways,
No.
that's gonna be 20 bludgeoning damage.
Oof.
And same thing. So as it's like moving forward, you can see like this mass of like moss and green mush kind of shifting around. Inside is this diamond-shaped, arcane radiating like device that's embedded inside the shambling mound as it's coming forward. And that will end the shambling mound's turn.
Back to the top with Locke.
Lock.
God damn it. Does Locke know what a shambling mound is? Did he get anything from
Wait,
those?
did you get
Yeah,
grappled by it?
texts?
Yeah, you know. No,
Huh?
he didn't.
No,
Oh,
just
okay.
hit.
No.
Would I know not to hit it with lightning?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, you'd also know that it has resistances to. It's immune to lightning, but it's also resistant to cold and fire, based on what you were being the research.
Well, that's kind of everything I got. Uh-oh.
Can we just swap places?
We're gonna need to swap places.
Go lightning that fire elemental.
All right. So as it's coming closer to me, I kind of stumble back when it hits me and roll backwards onto like one knee, like a proposal, and then clap my hands together with a thunderclap.
Thunderclap.
Thunderclap. Thunderclap. So it would need to make a DC 17 Constitution saving throw.
Alright.
So, right next to the door and the mound, I'm gonna thunderclap.
Okay.
DC 17 Constitution saving.
Con? Oh, it's actually pretty good at that.
I imagine it is.
20.
Yeah, well. Fuck you,
you.
mound. Gah! Like a
So does it take any damage?
no.
No?
So like lightning strikes in this room,
Mm-hmm.
and it's dramatic, and that's it.
Yeah, there's a thunderous blast of sound as it just shatters all the bookshelves near you on the wall and cracks the door open and splits it in two, and sends like chunks like flying off like in a from hurricane winds. Like parts of it like come off and start flying back against the wall, but just keeps moving forward towards you and raising its like almost fist-like appendages to come down on top of
No.
On my arm.
Screw it. I'm gonna take the risk. I'm panicking. Yeah, I'm gonna move my 30 feet in the direction of, I guess, these guys over here in this corner.
Alright, so you're gonna try to evade it?
Yeah,
Alright, well, it's definitely gonna make an attack of opportunity against you as you try to run away.
makes sense.
This wisping piece of vine just comes like swinging out as you turn to move, and you just throw up this magic deflection to try to protect yourself, but it's just coming so fast it crashes right through it as it attempts to hit you.
I do use my arcane deflection as a reaction, so that gives
Well,
me.
you already spent your reaction, right? Oh wait,
I
no,
got
it's
it
your
back.
turn again. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
It just makes the one slam attack. That's gonna be 17 to hit.
Fuck. Yeah.
Rolling
got me.
right today. 17 bludgeoning damage. It just, the tail end of it like cracks like your abdomen and your sternum, and you hear armor plates shift and something bend, but like you ignore the pain and just keep running. So you're going 30 feet, right?
Yeah. No.
Okay. You have to look at Locke's mini Katarina once I'm done, because I added some shading to it and gave him some actual metallic
It looks really good.
face and hands. So, is that your turn?
Yeah.
Right on. I like it. I like what's happening right
After
now.
Locke is Godric again.
Oh,
I apologize for moving the microphones, but it feels far away.
Feeling the fire elemental just lashing out, covering me in flames, I grip Gwendolyn tighter and chuckle and speak out. I think I've heard Thrin say this one. With the fire and flames, I carry on, and I keep swinging at it. Recklessly, and Grey Weapon Fighter on the first strike.
Okay. Did you take your fire damage?
You're on fire.
Yeah, you're on fire.
Okay.
Well, you're catching fire. Like, your clothing and stuff is starting to
5, right?
like catch fire. Yeah, 5.
Does it 23 hits?
23 hits?
Yep. So, I'm just gonna do this. That's 32, 43, 46 points of damage
46?
on the first strike. Yeah.
Solid hit, goes right through. You make contact with the device, and it shatters and just explodes. And then the fire elemental just like stands there for a moment. It moves. It kind of diminishes for a second, and then it looks around. You can see eyeballs moving around, and then it just says something in elemental or primordial, and then just you hear it. It says, "Finally, I'm freed. I can leave again." And it just dissipates, disappears. As the wizard's hold over it through her device disconnects it from the plane.
Alright, well then at that, I'm going to step forward.
How far? Step forward.
I'm going to move in between these two pillars.
Pillars or
Tanker blob things.
The tanks.
Yeah.
Tanks.
Okay.
Step forward between the two tanks. Call the hammer and just throw it at the shambling creature before me.
Okay.
I don't have advantage on that.
5, 10, 15. Okay. Uses 15 feet of your movement to do so.
I'm assuming an 11 does, does a 6-17 hit? Son of a turkey.
9, 6, 17.
Does a 17 hit?
It does.
Oh, okay. 10 points of damage.
Okay.
Roll real low. And then since I killed a fire elemental, Great Weapon Fighter, I get to attack again as a bonus action. I call the hammer back one more time and throw it again.
Does it count as a kill?
Yeah. It counts as a kill. Does calling your
I
hammer
think it
back
has to be
doesn't
melee
require a
attack.
bonus action, right?
For Great Weapon Master?
No.
With the kill?
I don't believe so. I looked it up with Andy.
Well, didn't he make a melee attack?
Yeah.
With
No,
Gwendolyn,
I think
right?
the extra attack he gets has to be a melee attack.
I don't believe...
I think it does say you may make an additional melee weapon attack.
makes
Oh, it is one... Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is one melee. Yeah, so I
Okay.
don't do anything. Yeah, so I don't think I can get within range, so I'll just leave the hammer.
What's your movement? Because you used 15 already.
So I have 30 more.
You get pretty
No,
close.
you can get close, but you couldn't get there directly.
Alright.
You can get ahead of Locke.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll get in front of
5,
Locke.
10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah.
Yeah, move me in front of Locke.
Yeah, you can get here.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that end your turn?
Yes, it does.
That makes it Ulthion's turn.
Ulthion.
I just walk up just past Locke, just to the other side of him, and as I'm walking by, I place my hand on him, and I'll cast Cure Wounds. 10 hit points.
Yay!
Woo!
You hear some metallic warping
I just
and
whisper to you,
snapping.
keep going, Godric has this. And I'll end my turn. Katarina.
Alright, I'm going to...
Take 5 points of damage.
Yes.
I'm going to take 5 points of damage.
I am going to do that.
Just gonna preemptively take my damage.
And then I want to move 30 feet towards the last creature.
Towards the Shambling Mound.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna rub my hands together and say, I've been wanting to try this one for a while, and I'm gonna cast Blight on it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
She's
nice.
blighted so many things.
Tried to, at least.
Tried. All right.
Alright, so he has to do a DC 16 con saving throw, but since he's a magical plant, he has disadvantage.
Okay.
Mmm.
Yeah, fuck you, magical plants.
All right, he fails
Close.
with a fat 6.
And he takes maximum damage because he's a plant, so 64 points of necrotic
64.
damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Ugh. All the sap just pouring out.
Oh yeah, you're gonna want to watch your step over there.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Yeah. So this wave of like magical necrotic energy just kind of goes over its body, and you can see it like shudder in place, and even hear it groan as like huge chunks of like its body begin to just fall off to the ground, just turn to like slag and mud and water.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
And then I'm gonna kind of. Katarina was very excited about being able to use Blight against a plant creature.
Mhm.
So now I'm gonna kind of notice that I'm on fire and be like, oh, fuck. And start to. I can't put it out this
Getting
turn
ready to
because I
put it
don't
out.
have my action, but I'm gonna start to put it out.
Okay, gotcha. No problem.
Great, that's it for me.
That's my cue.
Mhm.
Tran!
Alright, Trin runs up after Katarina. Katarina, you're on fire! You're on fire! You're on fire! And I follow her and I take out my water skin. And I run up to her and I'm
30
gonna,
feet, you get just to her.
yeah, I'm gonna
Perfect.
splash her with the water skin. She goes, you're on fire! You're on fire!
All right. So suddenly you're just getting doused with water. It's just like splashing all over you. It's even hitting you in places where you're definitely not on fire, but it doesn't matter.
That place won't catch fire, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, preventative
Stop the
maintenance.
spread.
Yeah. And I turned to Locke and I said, Locke, you really gonna let some witch's servants beat you? As I give him a bardic inspiration.
No. Stay out of it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Tran, you done?
Yeah, that ends my turn.
Fire elemental's gone. Shambling Mound.
Shambling Mound. It's just gonna walk forward.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna
Okay,
come
moving.
forward. Let's see.
Watch as I definitely move him
20
into
feet.
without knocking the board.
All right. It takes 2 massive swings at Godric.
Massive swings. With advantage?
Huh? Yeah, with advantage.
I did recklessly. Did I recklessly?
Yeah, you
You
reckless
did.
against the fire.
Well, no, I'm.
Oh, well, no, because you reckless at all.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you like that, Sasha? What made you do that?
She's just
23 to hit
everything
on
right
the
now.
first attack.
No.
All
I
right.
think he's playing the same thing to you.
Yep.
That's someone else's turn now, huh?
So 17 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, yeah. Wow, yeah.
What's with these puns? She ferment to do that? Hey, keep up with the puns, and
and
somebody's
then
gonna get
another
mad
hit
and
for 24.
alcohol and ambulance.
That one does hit for sure.
Why?
An additional 18 bludgeoning damage.
Oof.
You are now grappled as both hits land on you, and these vines just wrap over your body and begin pulling you towards the shambling mound, like towards its maw. You see this weird juxtaposition of like sharp bark like teeth just kind of opening up to pull you in.
Oh shit!
Wall on
All
fire.
right, that ends its turn.
Well on fire.
You're
I'm
on
still
fire.
on fire.
Good thing it's
Nice.
resistant to it.
That's
You
a
know what?
spicy meatball.
Yeah.
It likes its food cooked.
Yeah.
After the shambling
It's a
mound, we're back
spicy
up to
gun.
Locke.
Well, I wheel around with Godric between me and the thing of my nightmares. And I say to Trin, no. And I will. There's not much I can do here, but fuck it. I'm gonna hit it with a. I don't have
What
that.
spell?
Yeah, 4th level magic missile.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Good choice, dude. Magic missile's flexible.
How many bolts at 4th level? So.
It's an additional 1 for every level over.
Yeah.
First, right?
Yeah. So 6, right? Am I doing that right?
I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, 6 bolts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 6.
Bolts? What are you casting?
Magic missile. It's an additional bolt for every level you overcast it.
4,
So it'd be a total of 6 at 4th level.
5, 6. Yeah.
Oh,
4, 5.
2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Look! Shoot him with a missile!
Shoot them with magic.
Yeah, get him!
Just magic it.
Yeah! Channel the magic energy into your fingers and
So
shoot
serious
him.
question.
17.
How many of those did you aim at the mound, and how many of those did you aim at Godric?
All of them went to the mound, but
Right on.
they
Surprising.
definitely are closer than you would be comfortable with.
I'm on fire right now. I
So
didn't
these
even notice.
these shards of these like electrical darts just kind of right past you and slam into the mound, cutting right through it, slicing, and they're just going. They overpenetrate and just go into the wall behind it, but like it's clearly cutting straight through the shambling mound, which kind of just once again shudders and has this low growl as it's still just trying to pull Godric, and he's just reeling against it. He has his like vines wrapped around his arm. He's just like pulling them away and tearing them back, but for every 4 or 5 of these vines he tears off of the thing, it just wraps more onto him.
Oh.
So how much damage did you do again?
17 force.
17? Okay. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's
Is that low
reliable,
growl the same
but it
growl
ain't
we
very
heard
powerful.
earlier when we were downstairs?
It's very similar.
Okay.
Yep.
Similar, but not the same.
Yes. There's a little bit of chance
Minced
still
word
in there.
Mm,
Everything seems
Is that
to
your
be
turn?
fine.
That ends my turn.
Awesome.
Godric,
Godric!
you
This thing's trying to
grappled,
eat
son.
you.
Perfect. I still take my fire damage.
Yep.
Do I see like this crystal object in the center of this one?
No, at the moment it's covered.
Feeling it tugging, I just kind of drop the hammer, kind of grab Gunnar with both hands, and kind of strike at the center of it, trying to like swing into it. I'm assuming I have disadvantage, right?
No,
No?
grapple doesn't do anything but
Oh,
keep you
yeah.
from moving.
Yeah, all it does is reduce your speed to 0.
Oh, perfect. All right.
Restrained is the bad one.
Swing into this.
Yeah, restrain's the one that sucks.
Reckless great weapon. Does a 17 hit?
17 does hit.
Okay, so 17 is going to be 8, 9, 10, 11, 16, 39 points of damage.
And any of that lightning?
Oh.
Yes,
Oh.
5 of it.
Negate all 5 of that.
Okay. So 23, 32 points of 34 points of damage.
Okay. Solid strike. You cut away like one of its arms entirely as it falls off and slaps into the ground. Alright, what's your next attack?
Next attack.
10, 11.
Next attack.
Oh, same thing.
We're moving on.
Just without that and that.
Higher
17.
than 17.
Yeah,
Yeah.
17.
Okay.
26 points of damage.
26. Ooh.
No, I'm sorry. 20 points of damage. That's my fault. I forgot to account for the other one.
All right.
20 points of damage. Kind of wiggling and struggling against this giant creature.
I gotcha.
Lines.
You just continue to hack away, but it feels more like you're making progress at this point, as it's basically being dwindled down to like a small shrubbery. You know, it's like it's barely alive. It seems. Yeah. All right, is that your turn?
Something that'll bring the room
Yes.
together.
I end my turn with the knights who say, "Nyeh."
Hmm.
All right, that's Oltheon.
Oltheon. Oltheon.
Okay.
I'm going to move just past the red vat there,
Okay.
and I will I'll point my glaive out, and at the tip of the glaive, a light appears and then fires forward as I cast Sacred Flame at the beast here. Sacred Flame.
All right.
The mound needs to make a Dexterity 15 saving throw.
Which it passes.
Oh, bummer. I'm sad then. All right. I end my turn. Katarina.
Alright, first I will
Even with the
turn
-1, it was really close though.
I'll turn
Not
to
very
Trin
dexterous.
and after kind of wiping some of the water off my face.
Mhm.
Thank you for that. And then I will go ahead
Cast Blight
and
again!
I gotta save some of my 4 through 6
Yeah.
level spells.
Yeah.
As much as I would love to use all of them right now.
Mhm.
You don't want to express your unlimited power.
So I'll go ahead and
Unlimited power.
Shoot them blue.
I'll go ahead
Do
and
it.
chill touch this guy.
Ooh.
Ooh. All right.
Chill touch is
Needs a con save, right?
No, it's to hit.
Oh, is it the hit?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which I don't do. I'm assuming a 12 does not
It
hit.
does not, actually.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Well, in that case, I'm all done.
All right.
Yes, I should have used Blight again. That would have been much better.
After Katarina is Trin.
Trin!
I got your back as I pull out my sword and I flip it up into the air and it starts singing as my sword flies over and starts chopping away at those hard to reach places.
Those hard to reach.
Those hard to reach places.
Yep.
Oh no!
Did you roll a 1?
No.
Oh, it's a 20. It's a 20. It's a 20. I thought it was a 1.
What'd you roll?
It's a critical.
Why are you mistaken?
You
How
have
do you
might-
mistake
do you have
a
might-
natural 1?
It's a... I think it's a critical roll die.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm rolling Andrew's dice. That's why I'm hitting
so
so
that's
good.
so that's a critical hit.
Yeah, it's a critical hit.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
good. Ooh.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. I got 16 points of slashing. Magical slashing.
Didn't even cost you a spell
So your
slot.
dancing sword just kind of like slices its way up this vine arm and cuts Godric loose. And then you point it up in the air. You see that arcane piece of like machinery. Send the sword into it, comes shooting down, goes straight through, pierces the other side of the machine, and then it just kind of crackles with electrical discharge and just explodes, sending the shambling mound just all over the place, pasting the walls with this creature, and just like you can hear all that's left is just this dripping goop that's onto the ground.
I'm gonna run up and I'm gonna use my action to start pulling the sludge off of Godric. Godric, are you okay? Did you get eaten? Are you alive?
No, but I'm still on fire.
I'm out of water.
I'm gonna attempt to pat out the fire.
Then my turn.
Stop
If I have to, I'll start rolling in the muck more.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you put it out.
Alright.
Yeah, it's no problem.
That was annoying.
It's boring. I turn and go towards the books and start looking through them.
Which books? Just all of them?
The ones in the corner where I started, so back towards the entrance.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
On the way past these vats, I'll look inside and see if I can clearly see what is in there.
It's hard to say exactly what it is. They seem to be some sort of organic material for sure, and there seems to be, you put your hand on one of the vats, and there definitely seems to be like a low, very low, like thumping, like maybe a heartbeat coming from the inside of the vats. It looks like, based on just kind of cursory glance, it's got to be some sort of like hybrid, like incubation or egg or something. You're not sure if it's of a creature, like a natural creature, or if it was designed in some way to allow the process to happen. But either way, whatever it is in there, it seems to be alive.
I'm going to stop at that then instead of go to the books and look it up and down. Does there look like some way I could disable whatever's going on in there?
Make me Make me an investigation check. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm going to pull out a potion of healing. And I'm going to drink said potion of... greater potion of healing.
Okay.
It's
Locke?
44 plus 1.
I'm just going to do it this way.
Locke is going to go over to the door that he was originally inspecting. What kind of damage did I do to it?
Oh, a ton. It cracked it straight down the middle. It's almost blasted completely out. Overall, it was mangled by the spell. You can clearly see on the other side seems to be like bed chambers of some sort. There's like a bed possibly in the room. Some draping curtains to give it privacy. Aside from that, it's kind of hard to tell.
Looks like her private.
Possibly.
Quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Got a 15.
A 15? Possibly, if you... It's not... It's being powered by something. Whatever it is generating, more than likely generating a crazy amount of magical energy. Or drawing it from someplace. It doesn't seem to have any immediate or obvious connectors to anything, but if you can find whatever is powering them and disable it, it would more likely just kill off whatever's inside.
But I suspect, like, shattering this would be a bad idea. Maybe.
Depending on what's on the inside there, possibly.
No,
it doesn't necessarily look... from just a cursory glance, it doesn't look... It looks caustic, whatever's on the inside.
You want oozes? That's how you get oozes.
Just based on the stuff that he said she was working on, it could be anything from, like, a small hydra to a chimera to something could be in there growing. Maybe not necessarily a major threat, but still, it could be a problem long term.
Just don't want whatever it is to be suffering. But I suppose we'll figure something out later. They're not going anywhere.
Is there any, like, power, like any, like, tubing or power
no, there's
going
not.
through?
Yeah.
No, there are magic circles and stuff kind of drawn around runes on the outside of them. That's about it. Katarina, you doing anything?
No, I drank a healing potion.
Okay.
And then... Yeah, I think I would have just gone and also checked out the kind of test tubes since I am slightly familiar with them.
That sort of, like, concept as a whole?
Yeah. And seeing if maybe they were similar to ones I've seen before, or if I can figure out what's powering them.
Yeah, come to the same conclusions that he did. They're being powered by some sort of extraordinarily powerful magical device there are magical energies being seeped into them. And it's feeding whatever's on the inside, whatever magical creatures are on there. Are feeding off of it, so you have to stop whatever magical device is there, or figure out how to undo the glyphs and the runes. So you could possibly dispel it. You're unsure. It looks pretty intricate, just overall.
The magic may be able to be dispelled, but I don't know if this is where we should spend our effort at the moment.
I don't think it's pressing either.
Trin?
I immediately go over to the desks.
Okay.
I like objects.
Hmm?
I'm going to start
Make
rifling.
Make an investigation check for me.
14.
Alright. It doesn't take you long to kind of fiddle your way through it and find what looks like a secret drawer. You kind of bust it open with your sword. It's still flying around with you. And you just crack it open.
Right there, sword.
Inside is what looks like another journal of sorts. It seems like it's a journal. In a lot of the pages, there is the writings of the wizard who's in the tower, but that's only like the back half. The front half is actually the personal journal of the wife of the lord of the castle. And so what you see is this written out is this slow gradual slip into desperation when it came to dealing with a dark force that arrived on their borders and started harassing their towns. They continued to seek advice into an individual and find a way to deal with it. But through it all, in the end, it just ended up turning them on one another, this magic, and ended up corrupting most of the people who lived inside the keep, including like attaching them to this space, these ruins where their spirits were basically stuck. You just see a symbol that this person was attached to, who had said that if they used magic with it would kind of provide them the relief they needed. But you recognize it as the holy symbol of the Formless One. And it becomes pretty clear that in desperation to save their people, all they did was slip into the grasp of extraordinarily evil magic, and were destroyed from the inside out by it, more or less.
Oh dear.
And then the groundskeeper was more or less turned into a living wraith that malevolently was kind of cursed to haunt the grounds and make sure none of their souls could escape the land. They were basically just attached here.
Oh dear. Attilia, what did you do? Hey, everybody!
Yeah.
Remember how I said this reminded me a lot about the story I was reading in Thalen's book?
Yes.
Well, apparently this has been touched by the Formless One. The groundskeeper, a wraith. It's almost like it's playing out again. This isn't just magic or traditional experiments. This is a foul corruption and manipulation, probably only capable of a creature like the Formless One.
When he says that, does that kind of trigger my memory as far as what I had felt that was familiar earlier?
It all makes sense, but most of the evil that you left, that taint, makes sense, and the power of it and its connection to the ground did. But most of that disappeared with you guys slaying the groundskeeper and allowing everybody to go to rest. The ground is more or less requires probably a consecration, but would ultimately be cleared. This is something, now that you've come up this far in the tower, it's become clear that somebody else is here, and it's an evil, dark magic. It's a demonic magic in its origin, but it's not attached to religion. Like, it's not the Formless One.
But I don't pick up anything more familiar. I have my theories.
It says here that if they use the symbol, that in combination with some dark magics, they could fight this darkness that was encroaching on their land.
Yes, they were tricked and manipulated. Sounds familiar, actually. Quite familiar.
If you combine that with the diary and the accounts of the wizard coming into the castle, Geithar's been here for maybe a few years. Just been inhabiting the castle, started doing the work and everything. But she was sent here by somebody else to do this work for them. And whoever this other party is.
This, Niamze?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know that a hammer tends to see everything as a nail, but I'm starting to feel that this is very reminiscent of things I've seen involving the corruption of Loth and the Blood Elves. It's the same sort of manipulation. It's a base theory at best, though. Either way, we do need to consecrate this ground when we're done here. Otherwise it'll happen again. I don't know that the groundskeeper is fully destroyed. At some point, the corruption of the Formless One may reform.
Then we should continue up and fight whatever is...
Oh, yes. My resolve hasn't changed.
I throw open the doors.
So you throw open the doors, right?
Yep.
Once Locke opens the doors, there is an extraordinarily chilling drop in the temperature. And the torchlight is just kind of like put out. And this feels very, very familiar to Ulthion, Katarina, and Locke. As permafrost begins to kind of like, frost begins to build up on your armor. And there is a low, sobbing cry that begins to kind of pick up in the chamber, from the other side of the chamber and the doors.
I would like to, what are we calling it? Ready? Ready? Prepared?
Pretty sure our weapons are out. And
I mean, like, I'm ready to just chuck my hammer for it, like, fucking contact.
I thought the point of that was to like get the drop on somebody who didn't expect you to draw your weapon. Like,
What, the ready to strike?
Yeah.
Ready to strike.
No, it's meant to showcase that you are ready to attack in case they're whoever it is that you're with might do the same.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's supposed to be aggressive, so that was the idea.
I'm feeling the cold and the shiver and just the oddness. I ready.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'm just gonna waltz right into the room.
I was just gonna say, I think this is that banshee that we were worried about.
Oh, anything to remember when hitting it?
It's another ghost.
All right.
Well, can't Ulthion just use his holy magic on it?
I plan to.
Okay.
As I like start trying to get closer to Ulthion.
Because you're all standing in front of the door, right? He kicked it open and you're gonna walk through?
Yeah, I walk
Yeah.
right in.
Okay.
I follow behind him.
So you go... Yeah. Okay. So as you go into the room, and it's definitely just a sleeping chamber. It's a private room off the side. There is what looks like a bed with drapes around it. There's some a table, some chairs. There's a fireplace that seems to have not been lit in a long time. It's clean, so somebody's definitely been living in here. Sitting on the bed, though, there seems to be somebody there.
Was that you?
And that sobbing comes from behind those curtains. Just a low cry. And you're more or less well aware of what this is moving forward, so you're defensively ready to go. What you don't see, however, is that behind your friends, something else comes up from the floor behind you. Trin, you feel this cold run through your body, this shivering, and then you hear this voice behind you kind of whispering to you. And then you remember that how banshees are made, where they come from, and you remember that the people who ruled this tower had twin daughters. Until next Friday.
Oh, shit!
There's two of them!
Oh, shit!
Yes!